win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here to tell you about Built Right's President's Day and Randy Kay's birthday extended mattress sale. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national or local chain store, department store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right also has the best value, selection, and experienced team in Wisconsin. Over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands made in the USA: Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses that hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right saves you money. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Tonight, the Bucks take down that other team from L.A.
He heaves up another three, and he plays a little more string music. Boy, he's coming out assertive tonight.
Our Bucks Clippers coverage starts at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story this afternoon: a narrow Senate confirmation for the FBI director.
I'm Julia Fellow, not expecting an appeal from the Players Association.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Westbound 94 slowing down out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Got a couple taps on the brake southbound on 43, heading right through the Marquette. And a little bit slow on 41 southbound just south of Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 7 degrees, wind chills down to 5 below inland. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 27. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Senate has just confirmed President Trump's nominee Kash Patel as the next director of the FBI. It was a 51-49 vote. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson says what happens now will be telling.
Patel has said some pretty inflammatory things about law enforcement, about the FBI, and so he's walking into a situation where there seems to be a major disconnect between what he wants to do on behalf of President Trump and what these career FBI officials see as their role in law enforcement.
Senators Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins were the only Republicans to vote no.
As he marks his 83rd birthday, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is throwing in the towel.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune told CBS News Senator McConnell leaves an historic career and incredible legacy. Whip John Barrasso said McConnell mastered the Senate and helped to advance a freer and stronger America. McConnell said he will serve out the rest of his term through 2027, but some are already jockeying to replace him. Former Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron indicated he plans to run for the seat, while Congressman Andy Barr says he's considering a possible bid. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Here locally, the Milwaukee Bucks will resume the regular season tonight against the Clippers without Bobby Portis. The NBA has suspended the power forward for 25 games for a banned substance.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a medication called Toradol. The pills were not team-issued. Bucks president Peter Feigin is standing behind the player.
We believe this was an honest mistake. Bobby has and will continue to take drug tests of which he's never had any issues with.
The Bucks have 29 games left in the regular season.
It is a real consequence to be suspended for 25 games.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee's streetcar may now be without a dedicated leader.
The system has already been without a manager since mid-October. City operations manager Chuck Schumacher says the deadline to apply was moved back to March 21st because the Department of Employee Relations has been trying to narrow down a salary.
DER had to do some studying on, what other transit operators are paying.
Alderman Bob Bauman laid out the new timeline Thursday.
So it could be June before anybody's on board?
Realistically, probably May or June would be my guess.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, new details on what may have led to the fall of the Roman Empire.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:04.
I know, that was a big tease. I saw you.
I
You
was
were
like,
whoa, the Roman Empire.
I'm on that. All over it.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Taxes in retirement could take a bigger bite out of your savings than ever before. With a rising tax environment, many retirees are worried about running out of money. At Drake & Associates, we understand those fears, and we're here to help you feel more confident about your retirement. That's why we're offering a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you take control of your financial future. Don't let rising taxes catch you off guard. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free resources. That's TAX to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Kaiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:07.
There's a new theory that dirty air contributed to the fall of the Roman Empire.
A study from the Desert Research Institute in Nevada finds lead pollution in ancient Rome was so high it dropped the population's IQ by at least 3 points. Scientists believe the contaminants came from the process of mining and smelting used to extract silver to make coins. They say prominent members of society were exposed through water pipes, cooking pots, bathtubs, makeup, and syrups that sweetened their wine. Experts have linked lead exposure to reduced cognitive functioning. The findings are published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. As you heard in news, Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis suspended for 25 games for using a banned substance. And the Bucks will resume the regular season tonight at home against the Clippers. Dame and Giannis are listed as questionable on the team's injury report with a nagging calf injury.
One of my goals is to be available for the playoffs. Obviously, we are 30 games away. It's a long time. But at the end of the day, my main focus is to take care of my body, be smart.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And a hockey rematch tonight as Team USA faces Canada in the finals of the Four Nations Face-Off.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:08.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the once-a-year auto show sales event is on. Prime time to explore all that's new and score great offers and special savings to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Connect with Holiday for expert help, their low simplified price, and $500 auto show bonus cash on new 2025s. Stackable with offers like low 2.9% 5-year financing for well-qualified buyers on most models, including Mazda CX-30, CX-5, and CX-50. How about the 2-row Mazda CX-70 and 3-row Mazda CX-90? Save even more if you or someone in your household already drives Mazda with owner loyalty rewards. Get qualifying details today and enjoy the award-winning guest care at Wisconsin's #1. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Happy Friday Eve.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Friday for a second.
Your eyes got really big. Like,
Yeah.
have I been thinking it's Thursday all day? Is it Friday, really?
I wish.
It is Thursday today. We've got a great show lined up for you. We'll detail that out in a minute. But first, the things that we're chasing today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Number 1, a Packers fan is trying to raise a lot of money, $1 million. He's a diehard Packers fan who was also named last year's NFL Fan of the Year. He was nominated by the Green Bay Packers. Comedian Tom Grossi, host of Packcast, is working to raise $1 million for the Children of Fallen Patriots. It's a vision foundation to ensure that every child of a fallen member of our military receives all necessary college funding. He's pretty close. You can also learn more by heading to fallenpatriots.org. He's been fundraising since Sunday.
I love that. That's such a great one. Hey, number 2 is something we want you to see. Text the word watch to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Text the word watch, and you can see these. These are new renderings of what draft weekend's going to look like in Lambeau Field. It's a campus that they're building, a stage on the northeast corner of Lambeau Field.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
The stage.
It's super, super cool. It's basically going to take up all the parking lots along Lambeau. They're scheduling stuff throughout there, stage, campus, all sorts of stuff for the kids, food and beverage areas, a gallery of NFL exhibits. Text the word watch, and you get sent a link to the beautiful picture we're talking about. Titletown is getting ready.
That's the best part. That's when you see the number 1 pick come up
Exactly.
on stage
It's
and
gonna be
everything.
awesome.
All right, number 3. Another job lost to robots. Major League Baseball testing robot umpires, they say, during spring training with 19 teams, including ours. It could lead to regular season use next year. So it's looking at the ball strike zone, so to speak. It's been tinkered with in the minor leagues for the past 6 years. They use it. So for 12 of the crew's 31 games this spring, they will have the robot umpire calling balls and strikes instead of your normal home plate umpire.
It's
There you
definitely
go.
coming to the big leagues. It's just a matter of time. Hey, let's give you a bonus one. How about a bonus 3 at 3? This would be the 4 at 3. Right now happening live at the White House, Donald Trump is hosting a Black History Month event, and Tiger Woods is there. Tiger Woods was given the Medal of Freedom by Donald Trump, and
I see
Tiger
it.
Woods is standing there. Look there. In his dark suit, wearing the medal around his neck, standing to the left of Trump about 10 feet away. Donald Trump just said that Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer of all time. They went through the list of how many PGA Tour victories he has and all of that stuff. And then Trump throwing in this little tidbit. I just played with Tiger Woods last week, and he's still got a little something left.
Wow.
So Tiger Woods is at the White House as President Trump celebrates Black History Month. It's also interesting, Julia, because you pointed this out. At a lot of these sort of events, people aren't holding up their cell phones because it's usually members of the media that we see that the president's addressing. There are like 100 people in the room, and there's 100 cell phones being held up right now, pointed at the podium.
Do you know how much the photographers are freaking out by those people doing that?
Yeah, for sure.
The riser's not high enough for the photographer to get over all those
All they're seeing
cell phones.
is the cell phones in the video. So we'll keep you updated on that throughout the day. Hey, a little quick tease of what we're going to do coming up to Bobby Portis' suspension. We're going to walk through the whole thing, including the lengthy statement put out by Bobby Portis' agent, which is very interesting. We'll do that up next, and a couple of great guests. Bill Andrikopoulos, the longtime superintendent of MPS, will be with us at 3:45. I think it's fair to say he's disgusted by what's happening in the district that he loves so much. He will be with us at 3:45. Charles Benson. Charles thinks that the governor may have tipped off whether he's going to run for another term or not. Charles will do that 5:15 on WTMJ. Traffic up next.
Are we sure they aren't named after nail clippers?
How often do you cut your toenails?
I would say every 2.5 to 8 weeks.
Because they sure are experts at trimming down expectations. The Clippers come to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks.
He's now just 4 of 11. How about Kuzma the other way? Flushes it through, bringing the Thunder with a one-hand slam down the lane.
Our Bucks radio game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Fox and Hounds. Is it the famous Fox and Hounds? Who is it, Brandon? Tell me. Pella, my friend Gina Della at Pella. Let me tell you about Pella, because Pella Della's got something great going on right now. This is the best deal that I've ever heard when it comes to financing. I think I know it is. It's 0% interest for 60 months. 60 months. Make that, you know what? I'm going to bump it up. It's 0 for 72 months, 6 years.
Wow.
You buy something, and you got 6 years before you make a payment, and they don't charge you any interest. And I know how good they are because they're doing the work in my house. It's the best craftsmen. It's the best product. So much of it is from here in Wisconsin, including the glass, the wood. You get the 10-year labor warranty. Gina Della's teams will come in, and they'll take care of you big time. Your house will be fantastic. And guess what? You're not really paying anything for 6 years. 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Ends March 8th. Set your free in-home consultation today. Check out the website. It's easy. It's PellaWI.com. It's Gina Della. It's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered. Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Loziga time. All right, Deb, how we doing?
Well, we've got slowdowns westbound 94 from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's tightening up just a bit right in the stadium interchange. Southbound on 41, slowing from before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. And then on southbound 43, just slowing down right through the Marquette onto the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lozigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight. It's going to be another cold one, a low of 7 degrees, wind chills down to 5 below inland. Tomorrow, sunny and a little warmer, a high of 27. Saturday, partly cloudy, 28. On Sunday, mostly cloudy, 36. And on Monday, slight chance for rain, a high of 42 degrees. Right now, it's decent. Sunny skies and 25.
Pushes the pass over to Green. Green drives, kicks out, right wing, catch and shoot three from Portis, and he knocks it down. Bobby Portis patiently looking for his opportunity there. Got it back after he handed it off, and Milwaukee's back ahead by 1.
Green and growing better each year. Green and growing.
Bobby Portis suspended for 25 games. He'll have a handful of games left before the regular season ends, and then hopefully a nice run in the playoffs. What does it mean for the Bucks? We're going to get to that with Brandon in just a second here, but first some of the details. I want to read this statement because it's very long. This morning we came in and realized that Bobby Portis had been suspended by the NBA and won't fight it, and his agent was the first to weigh in. His agent put out this long statement. I'm devastated for Bobby right now because he made an honest mistake, and the ramifications are incredibly significant. Bobby unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol. Toradol is an approved pain medication that he has used previously and that teams and players use for pain and inflammation. Tramadol is not an approved pain medication. It was just recently added to the banned substance list. The Tramadol pill he took came from an assistant of his. Yep, let's throw somebody else under the bus. With a valid prescription for the painkiller, which he mistakenly told Bobby was Toradol. This was, again, an honest mistake that was made because of the similarity in the names of the drugs and the fact they both serve a very similar purpose. Bobby was using this anti-inflammatory, pain-reducing medication to deal with an elbow injury he had this past fall, and he believed that taking Toradol to alleviate the pain would help him prepare for the night's game. Bobby's a great person, teammate, and professional. He has a wonderful reputation in our league, his communities, and the team. There are no bigger fans of the NBA than Bobby and I. Like the agent's got to insert himself into the statements.
He is wonderful, but
great guy.
You're
Great
not
guy.
supposed to take someone else's prescription. Both of those are prescriptions. The newsroom, we looked into it, it was the assistant's prescription.
It was?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I haven't seen that anywhere. Okay. You're definitely not supposed to do that if that's the case. You're not supposed to do that. The other thing is be responsible for your own stuff.
Recently banned. I didn't know that was a recently
January.
banned prescription that you can't take.
I'm sad because he's a good guy, but you know what? We don't know any of these guys, if we're being honest. We think he's a good guy, and I still think he's a good guy, but we don't know these guys. When was the last time any of us had dinner with Bobby Portis? When was the last time any of us stepped inside his house? When was the last time any of us had a conversation with Bobby Portis? I'll say it again. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He seems like a good guy, but we don't know any of these guys any more than he knows who I am. And he made a big mistake, and he is owning it. They're not fighting it. He says they will not fight it. Before I bring Brandon in here, I want to read what the Bucs are saying. The Bucs also released a statement. This is a very difficult set of circumstances for Bobby and our team, said Bucs GM John Horst. He and the Bucs organization respect the NBA anti-drug program and will accept what's been handed down, but we 100% support Bobby. Together, we'll take this opportunity to grow, and we'll have a better and stronger Bobby and the Milwaukee Bucks team. He's an integral part of who we are, a huge member of the Milwaukee community, and we look forward to his return. I want to circle back really quickly to one more thing. Okay? He's accepting the suspension and taking responsibility. It's not taking full responsibility, though, if you blame an assistant. He didn't need to include that in here. He did because he wants people to think it wasn't his fault. Maybe it wasn't his fault. But it reminds me a lot, and I hesitate to make the comparison, but I guess I'm going to, of Ryan Braun. When Ryan Braun took substances that were also performance-enhancing, and then he blamed his assistant. He blamed the sample collector. A guy came to collect Ryan Braun's urine.
Yeah.
It tested positive, and Braun blamed that guy instead of accepting responsibility. This is not a completely apples-to-apples comparison. I know that, but if you're accepting responsibility, accept responsibility. It says it was the assistant's fault. Well,
assistant to what?
Like personal assistance?
Okay.
I don't know. Personal assistance?
Okay.
I mean, you put it in your own body unless you were asleep and the assistant dropped it in your mouth. I just don't get it. Hey, Brandon, quickly, he's been a finalist for the Sixth Man of the Year award a couple of years in a row. He averages, you know better than I do, a lot of points per game. How big a loss is this on the court?
It's a huge loss. It's a huge loss for two reasons, John. Number one, he's outside of Giannis, their best rebounder. So you lose that, and as a team, the Bucks have struggled really since the middle of January to rebound the basketball. He's a double-double machine. So right now he averages just under 14 points per game and just under 10 rebounds a game. That's coming off of the bench. He's not a starter. So the Bucks lose all of that production off of their bench. And, oh, by the way, if you've been paying attention to Bucks basketball, Giannis is hurt. His calf is acting back up. So they might not have Giannis for not only for tonight. We don't know yet. He's a game-time decision. But he haven't had Giannis for 4 games up until the All-Star break. We don't know if we're going to have Giannis after the All-Star break. So not only do you lose Bobby Portis for, let's call it the remainder of the regular season, because there's only 29 games left in the regular season. Bobby Portis will miss 25 of those.
Oh, gosh.
You don't know the health of Giannis going forward and where that takes you, from the the front court. You have Brook Lopez. You went out and got Kyle Kuzma. I will say this, though, John and Julia, thank goodness, looking back, that they went and got Kyle Kuzma. Because where this team would be without that trade, and I love Chris Middleton, you guys know that. I poured my heart out to you. They lost Giannis for a little while. Now they're done with Bobby. If they don't have Kyle Kuzma, it could have been really ugly.
I think maybe they knew, because this doesn't happen overnight.
Point.
The NBA
That's
did not tell them just yesterday, right? So they maybe knew
point.
Bobby was being looked at. The NBA said, hey, we're doing our investigation.
Oh, so it doesn't say when he tested positive?
No, and it's random. It's random. They have one. They can do it a handful of times during the season. In the offseason, it's one time at random. That's a great point, John, and that's something I'd be curious to ask. I don't know if General Manager John Horst will speak, but that is something definitely to keep an eye on. That's a great point.
What a tough stretch for Bobby Portis. Just yesterday, literally yesterday, we were reporting that They
His
now know
stuff
the identity of the guys who stole his stuff. He had $1.5 million worth of stuff
was
stolen
likely
from
taken
his
to
house.
South America, and they still don't know where it is.
It's been a tough year. It's been a year for the Bucks, man. It has been one thing after another, and this is just another one of those things.
What was Bobby's? I want to know now what Bobby's personal absence was. Was it related to health of his family?
I believe it was. I believe it was a passing in his family. It was his. He actually spoke on it, and
what a rough
and said
stretch.
it was a rough time of his life, and what she meant to him. So, yeah. I mean, it's just another one of those things that just keeps piling on.
I have friends in the Hunger Task Force, and he's done a lot for them. And people behind the scenes say that he's
been great in the
wonderful
community.
person.
Yeah, he's been great. He's a great guy, and I understand where you're coming from, John. It's definitely a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, all indicators are that he's a good guy. He sure does a lot of stuff. That is absolutely for sure. So the Bucks will be without him, and maybe Damon Giannis. That game tonight from Fiserv Forum. Our Bucks coverage starts at 6 o'clock here on WTMJ after the 6 o'clock news. And by the way, you can catch Brandon. Brandon does the postgame show with Justin Garcia. So you can catch Brandon on that postgame show on WTMJ after every Bucks game. It is 3:24 at WTMJ. Coming up after the news, the numbers are going up percentage-wise for the likelihood that that asteroid could hit the Earth. It's still a small number, but it keeps going up like every day. What does that mean? We've got a guy who's a space enthusiast, and he's been with us before. He's going to give us his take on the asteroid situation after the news on WTMJ. First at 3:24, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow sliding 450 points today. It started this morning with Walmart issuing a cautious outlook, and it just went from there. So the Dow did end up on the day down 451 points. The NASDAQ was down 92. The S&P was off 27 points on the day. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
So how would I describe our people? I'd say the people we set out to hire have to be smart, hardworking, and honest. Honesty being paramount of the three. Because honesty breeds integrity. And when you have integrity, you won't let yourself do anything less than your best. And that's who we're looking for. Character counts here, and integrity matters. That's why it's easy for us to offer the industry's best lifetime workmanship warranty with every roof we sell. A rock-solid warranty like ours guarantees our reputation and assures your satisfaction. At Semper-Fi, we do the right thing. We seize the moral high ground, and we hold it. And when you do that, you end up having a business that's going to last for generations. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper-Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper-Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
Hey, John Mercure here. Nestled in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is the historic and beautiful Fox and Hound Supper Club. I love the Fox and Hounds. You can journey through 90 years of history in their timbered stone structure. And when you buy one dinner, your second dinner at the Fox and Hounds is free. 7 days a week. That's freaking amazing. Choice steaks, ribs, seafood, pasta, steak and lobster, any entree, your second dinner is free. The Fox and Hounds desserts and huge ice cream drinks are also always buy one, get one free. Begin by unwinding with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. Choose from 20 bourbons. They've got a wine list with 100 wines, ice-cold beer, and you can enjoy those in their 8 unique dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Wherever you live, it's worth a spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, a Top Choice Award winner for fine dining and most romantic restaurant. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half your dinners are free. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You've been dealing with it forever, right? That ankle pain or the back or knee pain. It was a nuisance at first, and you kind of just put up with it. Now it's nearly debilitating for you, and it's affecting everything you do. It's time to get rid of that. Let's get rid of that pain that's always just kind of been there. You don't even remember how long it's been now. Call QC Kinetics. Groundbreaking treatments for arthritis pain, long-term relief. It is possible. Joint pain doesn't get better with time. So before it's absolutely debilitating, see if you're a candidate for this life-changing regenerative treatment. No painkillers, no surgery, no downtime. QC Kinetics regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. Patients right here in southeast Wisconsin. They have a location in Mequon and another in Greenfield. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. And if it's easier on your schedule, they're even open on Saturdays. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identify their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: serious repercussions for one Milwaukee Bucks player.
I'm Julia Fellow. A deadline for cleanup of lead at a local school.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound 43, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. Looks like we've got the left shoulder blocked with a crash. So watch out for some delays heading past that. Right now we're seeing backups coming in from Keith all the way past that point. Southbound 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. We've also got some delays along westbound 94 from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The low tonight will be 7 degrees. Wind chills will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 27. Right now, it's 25 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, before the final vote this afternoon on Kash Patel's nomination to lead the FBI, a chorus of Democrats spoke on the Senate floor to oppose his confirmation. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois.
I, for one, am convinced that Mr. Patel has neither the experience, the judgment, nor the temperament to lead this amazing criminal investigative agency.
Patel was confirmed 51-49.
During today's White House briefing, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz defended Trump's comments about President Zelensky.
There needs to be a deep appreciation for what the American people, what the American taxpayer, what President Trump did in his first term, and what we've done since. So some of the rhetoric coming out of Kyiv, frankly, and insults to President Trump were unacceptable.
Waltz also called the president a deal-maker-in-chief, expressing confidence in his ability to end the war in Ukraine.
The NBA is suspending Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug policy.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis consumed a non-team issued medication that happens to be on the NBA's banned substance list.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
Bucks president Peter Feigin, Portis will be allowed to practice with the team. As for an appeal,
it would not be appealed by the Bucks. It would be appealed by the Players Association, but I do not think it will be.
Portis will miss 25 of the Bucks' final 29 regular season games. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol.
Chief Health Policy Advisor from Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, explains to WTMJ how Portis could have mistaken the two drugs.
Tramadol is a weaker
opioid. So what that means is it's an opioid just like oxycodone, Oxycontin, all these other opioids that treat pain in a unique sort of way, but can cause dependency, can cause altered, mental status. Toradol is an anti-inflammatory, very similar to ibuprofen and given for kind of muscle injuries.
The key thing to remember is
both of these are prescription medications. They're not medications that you can just walk into Walgreens or CVS and pick up over the counter.
NBA banned the use of tramadol in the spring of last year.
2 states reporting a measles outbreak with dozens of cases in Texas and 13 people hospitalized. Dr. Tim Richer of Tosa Pediatrics tells Wisconsin's Morning News measles can spread quickly through unvaccinated populations.
It spreads so easily. You think about how easy it is for all your kids to get all these colds they're getting and flu. Now multiply that by like almost a factor of 10.
Richard says he has zero concerns about the safety of the measles vaccine, which is 97% effective at preventing infection.
The Milwaukee Public Schools deadline for lead cleanup at Golda Meir School is today.
Last week, 2 out of 10 dust wipes performed by the Milwaukee Health Department failed for excessive amounts of lead. MHD tells WTMJ that inspection crews plan to inspect Golda Meir this Saturday to see if there's any remnants of lead dust left. MHD also confirms that the lead risk assessment report for Maryland Avenue Montessori School should be ready on Friday and that they are still working with external partners and Milwaukee Public Schools on a mobile lead testing site for MPS students. Let's say a date and location will soon be revealed. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. One Brewers player returned to spring training looking a bit different.
Sal Frelick weighed out of the 2024 season in the 160s. And maybe even less if you ask Pat Murphy.
But he was pretty thin when he left. Sal weighed about 135 pounds when he left.
But Sal added 20 pounds of muscle this offseason, and his skipper is proud of the initiative from his Gold Glove outfielder.
Well, commitment is commitment. He's a great competitor, and he's got the it factor.
Last season, according to StatCast, Frelick had the lowest average exit velocity among qualified hitters. From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
And the Bucks are back in action tonight at Fiserv Forum against the LA Clippers, possibly without Giannis or Dame, who are both listed as questionable, and definitely without Bobby Portis, who's suspended for 25 games for using a banned substance. Our coverage starts right after the 6 o'clock news.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
You gotta get to Built Right today. Built Right's President's Day and Randy Kay's birthday sale and $1 million clearance sell-off are extended. This is WTMJ's Vince Vetrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. If you're looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, do what my wife and I did. We went to Built Right. We love our new living room furniture, and we loved our shopping experience as well. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 97 years strong. 3rd and 4th generation family members are right there in the store working alongside their amazing team. Thousands of items in stock or custom order at a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, real solid wood furniture. Over 48 models of PowerLift recliners in stock. 60 models of USA made mattresses. Built Right always saves you money. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday. Closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, just off of 894 at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We've been talking off and on about that asteroid that could hit the Earth in the year 2032. We wanted to bring in the most interesting space guy that we know. Jason Achilles is a fascinating guy. He worked with NASA to design a microphone for the Mars Perseverance rover. He's also a musician. He's put together a show that combines the two. We're going to tell you about the show coming up in a couple of minutes, but first the asteroid. Jason, thank you so much for being with us.
As I say, I don't know if I'm most well informed, but I'm happy with most interesting.
More informed than us combined. How about that,
That's
John and
a
I
fact.
combined? There you go.
And worse looking than either of you.
Oh, stop it. Hey, Jason, so the asteroid is named very creatively 2024 YR4. It's a risky asteroid, and here's why we wanted to ask you about this, because it's only 3.1% chance of hitting Earth, but the percentage keeps going up. What do we know about asteroids? Do asteroids freak you out like they freak some people out?
I got to tell you, though, I just did a real quick check going on about 10 minutes ago. It's down to 1 in 360 now.
That's
What?
still
How? How'd that happen?
I don't know. I mean, it's just what I saw. I didn't come
If
up
it
with a
goes
number,
up
but
by a percent or two, what does that mean? Can you quantify that? Is that a huge difference?
Well, the thing is, it's so far out, and we're going to sort of lose sight of it for a while. So there's just without knowing all the specific parameters of these things, it's really hard to quantify. So I don't know what they're basing all this stuff on. Clearly they know more than we do about how to gauge these things. But the last check I took, it looks like it's a third of 1% now, which is still higher than we probably needed.
Than
to be,
zero.
right?
I want it to be 0.0.
0.0 is good. Yeah.
So 300 feet wide. What does that mean? If it were to directly impact Earth, what would be the ramifications of an asteroid that big hitting us?
300. Was that what they said? It was about 300 feet wide. So what is that in meters? It's like 100 meters or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking for a good reference for this. So there was a big meteor that blew up over Siberia in 1908 and was reported, a lot of witness accounts. And that thing supposedly blasted. It was like an air blast. So most likely non-metallic, and it burst, it blew up in the air basically about, I think they figured about 6 miles up. That was theorized to be somewhere between, somewhere around 50 meters, so around 150 feet wide.
Oh.
That's been a blast that is estimated between 3 to 50 megatons.
And none of them are alive, Jason.
Well,
Fact.
yeah, probably not. Not even for old Russians, yes.
Hey,
even Rasputin couldn't handle that one.
I want to ask you about what it's like to be involved in a project that helped collect sound on Mars, put microphones on Mars. How cool is that? That's like the coolest thing.
You know what? Other than just doing it and the fact that it's somehow still working, which continues to blow all of our minds that worked on it, is, for me personally, is to the fact that it's actually just opened a lot of doors to work on other stuff as well, But yeah, that thing is still, like, we last chatted last summer, and that thing's still going. It's crazy. I'm giving another science presentation about it at a planetary science conference in March, and still telling people it's working, which is just, that thing has no business working.
It's amazing.
On that planet.
Hey, speaking of working, you're working on a cool show. It's in Bay City. It's kind of combining both your music, your love for music, and your love for space. Tell us about the show.
Yeah, I'm right across the lake from you guys. Yeah, and it's nice to be in Michigan snow again. This is, it's basically, so I've been, for the last 6 years or so, I've been trying to put together a presentation that would take place in a planetarium so that it could basically incorporate all the research I've done in various areas of space work and also music, and combine it all into a visual palette, I guess, where you can really have an immersive experience. And I guess there's places like the Sphere, that do this stuff too. But the nice thing about planetariums is you can do it for a lot cheaper, and bring it around the world. So we're I actually met. There's a festival called Starmus that takes place in different places every year, and Brian May runs this festival with his astrophysics advisor. I went to this festival and last year in Europe, and met I met folks there that put me in touch with this planetarium director here, Mike Murray, at the Delta College Planetarium, and so he's super excited about it. We're going to do the debut tomorrow night here in Bay City, and hopefully be able to bring it to basically any place with a modern planetarium.
Wisconsin. We got to get this show to Wisconsin. We got planetariums.
I am absolutely down.
All right. We're going to work on that for you. Jason Achilles, always fun to catch up. Thank you so much. Have a great show.
John, Julia, great to talk to you guys.
It is 3:42 at WTMJ. Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hang out with me Saturdays at 1 o'clock. It's the Experience Wisconsin show. We go from north to south, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, introducing you to some of the cool places, events, and people that make Wisconsin so super special. This week, a show that I'm really excited about. It is the Greater Milwaukee Automobile Dealers Association show, the Milwaukee Auto Show. We'll talk to an expert from the auto show. They'll tell you what's going on, the new cars, and a whole lot more. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays on WTMJ.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Should I delay my Social Security benefits, or should I start taking them right away? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your decision can impact your income for the rest of your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help you create a strategy to maximize your benefits so you can make the most of what you've earned. Social Security is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap. Take the first step today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and get a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Don't leave money on the table. Text SS to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Are you tired of not being your bank's top priority? I got you covered on this one. Check out Town Bank. It's my bank. It's Wisconsin's bank. They take a different approach to banking. They're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. So I needed to transfer some money. Actually, I'm wiring it tomorrow. So I had to get in touch with my bank because you do it through the bank is the easiest way to do it. My guys at Town Bank, Dan, hooked me up. I talked to him on the phone. I'm going in tomorrow. It's a piece of cake. Town Bank, this is at the core of who they are. They've got the best customer service. Even if you feel like you'll almost never need customer service at a bank, sometime you will. Might involve your mortgage, might involve transferring money around, might involve a deposit that didn't happen like it should have. Even if you bank online, you need good customer service. Town Bank has the best customer service. And how about the banking solutions? Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, they have tailored solutions to get you there. So stop settling, start experiencing a better way to bank at Town Bank. Different approach, better results. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Loziga, how are the roads looking?
Well, we are still seeing some delays right now. Southbound 43 from just south of Capitol Drive all the way down past an accident scene that's just before you get to Fond du Lac. It's off on the left shoulder, so at least you can get past it. Something to keep in mind, though. Then we've also got some delays along southbound 41 from just south of Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Got westbound 94 slowing down from 16th Street all the way to about Hawley Road now. We've got the eastbound side backing up a bit just before 76th Street to Hawley, and then again through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. The low tonight is 7 degrees. Wind chills will make it feel like it's 5 below zero. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 27. Cloudy Saturday with a high of 28. Cloudy Sunday with a high of 36 degrees. A slight rain chance Monday with a high of 42 degrees. Right now it's sunny and 25 degrees in Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee Public Schools is, I think it's to say by most objective measures, struggling financially on the academic side. You know, 20 years ago, the school was in a lot better shape, and that's also objectively when you look at things. Bill Andrikopoulos was the superintendent, and he joins us live on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ hotline. Bill, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, thank you.
A judge recently called MPS, quote, the worst school district in America. What's your reaction to that as a guy who used to lead this district?
It's too bad. I'm sure that was the judge that was really concerned about the resource officers and why they weren't in the schools.
It was. That was him. And he went on to say it's not only the resource officers, but he said, you know, it's academics. It's how our kids are reading or not reading. It's test scores. It's all that stuff. What has happened?
Well, what has happened? I think the main issue is a human capital issue. There's just been a lot of people transitioning, moving on, retiring, and I think there's just been a whole collapse of experience and knowledge in the district of staff members.
Why is that, do you think? The audit by the governor said a lot of people were hiring people they knew, and a lot of people at the top in the administrative office did not get along at all.
I know nothing about that. I mean, that's the current situation. I can only tell you that my observation, based on 50 years of experience, is that recently, in the last 15 years, there's been significant change in leadership in the district. Principal leadership, district office leadership, a lot of people are retired, and the people that have come up the ranks to fill those positions just don't have the experience that the other people had.
Bill Andrikopoulos is with us, so let's dive into that a little bit. So 11% of staff positions are unfilled at any one time in MPS over the last decade. 11% go unfilled. Sources told the auditors that MPS spends millions in salary money elsewhere each year, and they don't fill the positions as a fiscal strategy to save money. And so 1 in 10 positions, a little more than that, sit vacant. Can you talk about that as a fiscal strategy? That sounds like a strategy and recipe for disaster.
It's a terrible fiscal strategy because what you're doing is you're if those positions are filled, then you're in the hole financially. So it's not a sound fiscal practice. The shortage of teachers is just not a Milwaukee Public School issue. It's a nationwide issue. Just less and less people are going into the field of education. I know some of the colleges are down 60-70% of young people going into the field of education.
I want to ask you about.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
I live out here in Arizona, and 35% of the classes are filled with provisional licensed teachers.
Wow. Okay, some of those test scores I referenced. 27% of Milwaukee fourth graders are considered to have basic reading skills. 27%, that's it. 9% are considered proficient. I mean, at the core mission, we can talk about SROs, which we'll ask you about in a second. We can talk about all this other stuff. But if kids can't read, that sounds devastating. What do you make of these statistics?
It's terrible, and there needs to be a sense of urgency to do a better job. I mean, we're failing a whole generation of children. It's just a terrible situation. I think resources need to be focused on the classroom, the most important place in the district, and the district needs to do a better job of really strategizing around quality teaching.
William, do you remember what it was like when school resource officers were in Milwaukee Public Schools when you were superintendent? Because right now there are none. There's supposed to be 25. And now the judge has ordered 50-50 for the police and the district to pay for it.
Now, when I was superintendent, I brought the resource officer program to Milwaukee Public Schools. I worked with the police chief at that time. The police felt it was great community policing. We felt it was a great experience for students to develop positive relationships with the police department. It was not about disciplining students. Certainly the police were there to build relationships and deal with if any significant criminal activity would occur, but it was more of a positive experience between the community and the police. We decided that we should split the cost back then. We didn't think that was an issue. It was benefiting both the police and both the school system.
Bill Andrikopoulos is with us on WTMJ. So aside from the fact that you believe SROs should be in schools, what's your opinion of the school district just ignoring the law, just not doing what the law says they have to do by not having them in our schools?
It's just hard to understand. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't even understand the whole controversy about not having the resource officers in schools. It's common practice. It's consistent. You go to almost any school district in the state of Wisconsin, and there's resource officers. It's just common best practices. So I just don't understand right from the get-go why they didn't have resource officers in the schools.
So I went to Menomonee Falls High School today for an event, and the first thing I saw when I got to the parking lot was a police car parked right in front of the building. Second thing I saw was a police officer in the lobby, and he was talking to students, and they were laughing and smiling, and I saw him pat a student on the back. I guess that gets to your point about building relationships. It's not about handing out suspensions or tackling kids in the hallway. Isn't it about giving them a positive role model? Absolutely.
It's about building relationships. That's the whole essence of community policing. It's getting police into a more familiar place where students don't fear the police, but they see them as a valuable resource in the community. It's just a logical thing. It's just very difficult for me to comprehend why they don't want police in the schools.
It was a unanimous decision by the school board to effectively get rid of the school resource officers. And again, that audit by Governor Tony Evers, there was something else that was revealed, that the board is dysfunctional. How much can a school board hamper or paralyze a superintendent?
A lot, a lot. That's why I had an editorial the other day in the paper where I said that let's give our new superintendent all the power that she needs to make a difference. I think the governance structure in Milwaukee Public Schools is based on adults' needs. I once had a school board member tell me after I told him that, I will make decisions and bring my expertise of what's in the best interest of students. She told me, hey, look, I make decisions based on what's in the best interest of adults because they're the ones that elect me. So I think that sums it up. The governance structure is something that needs to change, and I think we need to do everything we can to support the new superintendent and empower her to make the decisions that are needed because we're in a critical situation here. We're losing generations of students.
And the other problem is that they could hire and fire you, the superintendent, right?
That's correct.
So that's what kind of makes it a little bit more difficult.
A state legislator told me this week that they are considering a measure that would dissolve the school district or hand over district control to the mayor. They're so angry about what happened with the SRO law and now this audit. What are your opinions on either dissolving the district or giving mayoral control of the district?
I think dissolving the district is a bad idea. I think before I would do something that extreme, I would look at trying to create a different governance model, whether the district is turned over to the mayor, whether there's some type of commissioner or someone that's in charge of the district. But I think the governance structure is obsolete. I think it's too focused on adult needs, and I think the governance structure needs to be changed, and we need to make a difference that way as opposed to dissolving the district.
Would you support mayoral control of the district during this time of crisis?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you sad? I want to get to you were proud. I remember when you were here and I covered you as a young reporter. Okay, a younger reporter. And I remember how proud you were of the district when you would stand on the steps outside of a school. And now you're in Arizona and things have just gone so south in the last decade. Take me inside how you're feeling about all of this.
Well, I think that's why I've been engaged a little bit in the last couple of years about a couple issues of the MPS, and I've woken up from my retirement. It's very upsetting, and I know the other people, my peers that are retired, feel the same way. We're just very shocked and very concerned, and really concerned for the city and concerned for the students themselves and the staff, because we know how frustrated the staff are in the district at this moment. So it's very frustrating.
51% of students are considered chronically absent. The graduation rate is 76%. Statewide, it's 94%. Is some of this just a big city problem versus a Milwaukee-centric problem?
Well, some of it is just educating kids in poverty. When you educate children in poverty and all the complexities of that, that creates issues that need to be addressed from a society point of view. But there's other issues in Milwaukee and other issues in Milwaukee Public Schools, and a lot of it just has to do with the human capital issue that, as I mentioned, has occurred over the last 15, 20 years, where all the knowledge and experience of staff have left, and it's a difficult sled right now.
Does Act 10 play a role in that? Because a lot of teachers retired at that time.
Correct. Act 10 caused a significant number of people to retire or leave teaching, and that did cause a bit of a problem. But as time went on, Act 10 kind of that initial wave kind of was gone, but then people just reached that age. I mean, there was a lot of baby boomers that were just hired all around the same time in the late 60s and early 70s, and all of them reached retirement age, and all of them retired in a brief window.
William,
and now what you have, and wait, one other thing.
Yep.
Now what you have is a different generation of people in education, and they're not into an organization for 30, 40 years like my generation did. People come and go. They're more transient than they used to be.
There's no doubt about
they
that.
Can move around. Mm-hmm.
William Andrikopoulos is the former longtime superintendent of the Milwaukee School District. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You take care. Thanks again.
It's 3:57 at WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Get ready to fiesta with Margarita Week at Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria, February 17th to 22nd. Sip on their loaded Blue Bat Margarita. Plus, buy any 2 handhelds and get a free firecracker chicken bao. Happy hour runs Monday to Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., and daily specials include $3 margaritas and free chips and salsa. Wrap it all up on National Margarita Day, Saturday, February 22nd with live music and more. Visit Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward for the ultimate margarita celebration. Get all the info at bluebatkitchen.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything, and we certainly have a vehicle for your thing. The Auto Show has the largest selection of vehicles from different manufacturers all in one place. Barrett Center, the 22nd through the 2nd. Buy tickets online, no added fees. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Sit means sit dog training. Hey, I'll tell you what, sit means sit dog training is the real deal. Bella and Baxter are just better behaved. They're just better dogs. They just listen better. They're less jumpy and less barky. Now, they're not perfect. I know, Julie, you've been in my house, and the dogs are not perfect, right? When you were there, they were so excited to see you. They were jumping.
They're
and they
so
were excited,
cute. They could get
right?
away with murder. I love them.
Yeah, they're pretty good dogs. And they're better thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. They taught me how to be a better dog owner. That's really the key to this whole thing. I think I needed the training more than Bella and Baxter. And they taught me how to talk to the dogs, how to train the dogs, and how to treat the dogs. Free consultation. That's how we started. Check it out at Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Good afternoon. Your top story, the Bucs return to the court tonight without a fan favorite.
I'm Julia Fellow. A new link between eye health and COVID.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have a crash on southbound 43 right before Fond du Lac Avenue on the left shoulder. So it's going to be slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way down to Fond du Lac Avenue. Looking at about a 14-minute ride from Brown Deer Road out to downtown. On the northbound side, we've got some backups there just before Fond du Lac all the way up past Locust towards the Keefe area. We've got eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street to about Hawley Road and then again right through the Stadium interchange. We've also got some delays along 41 southbound from about Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Right now, Highway Q to the Zoo is a 17-minute ride. That's an extra 3. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 7. Wind chills inland down to 5 below. Tomorrow, sunny, a little warmer. High of 27 degrees. It's currently 24. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Milwaukee Bucks resume the regular season tonight against the Clippers without power forward Bobby Portis. Portis suspended by the NBA for 25 games for a banned substance.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a medication called Toradol. The pills were not team-issued. Bucks president Peter Fagan is standing behind the player.
We believe this was an honest mistake. Bobby has and will continue to take drug tests of which he's never had any issues with.
The Bucks have 29 games left in the regular season.
It is a real consequence to be suspended for 25 games.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The NBA banned Tramadol in spring of last year. Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston.
Banning something like Tramadol, these are similar to other medications that in theory can decrease somebody's susceptibility to pain, can cause them alteration of mental status and performing, could potentially be dangerous to perform in sports when you're on these medications at the same time. So I would imagine those are some of the reasons why a sports league would not allow players to compete when they're on these medications.
Dr. Ben Weston says that when medications sound the same, it can lead to medical errors.
New research from Northwestern Medicine in Chicago says there's a link between long COVID and the health of your eyes. News Nation's Ron Brown.
The research found that patients with long COVID had fewer blood vessels in the back of the eye compared to healthy people. The change in blood vessels in the deep part of the retina could mean long COVID affects similar blood vessels in other parts of the body, like the brain. Knowing this could help doctors diagnose and track how long COVID impacts people over time and manage and predict its progression, as well as identify its cause.
Immunocompromised patients or those with diabetes are at a greater risk of developing eye problems from COVID.
Coming up, how much was too much for Valentine's Day?
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:06.
Despite his Super Bowl loss, Chiefs player Travis Kelce spared no expense for singer Taylor Swift, we hear, for Valentine's Day, perhaps even spending too much? News Nation's reporter Paula Freelick.
He spent somewhere between $100,000 and $140,000 on this Valentine's Day, which happened, by the way, right after he had his huge defeat in the Super Bowl. According to reports, he bought her not one, but 2 Cartier watches, a Cartier necklace, a $1,000 box of roses, and some Louis Vuitton clothing.
And when it came to the card, Kelce reportedly gave her one that was handmade.
Oh, sweet and pricey all at the same time in one little bundle.
I'll take the party they want.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis suspended for 25 games for using a banned substance. His agent said he was trying to take Toradol and accidentally took Tramadol, which is banned. Meanwhile, the Bucks resume the regular season tonight at home against the Clippers. Damian Lillard and Giannis are listed as questionable on the team's injury report with a nagging calf injury.
One of my goals is to be available for the playoffs. Obviously, we are 30 games away. It's a long time. But at the end of the day, my main focus is to take care of my body, be smart.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ and a hockey rematch tonight as Team USA faces Canada in the finals of the Four Nations Face-Off.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:08.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, it's NBA reporter Chris Haynes joining Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek. Have you been to the Hounds and Tap yet? In Menominee Falls, this state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the indoor-outdoor tavern, let your dogs hang out. You can even book professional grooming services. From pedicures to full spa treatments. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. Hang out with your dog and others, or drop your dog off for doggy daycare or doggy boarding services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited news time is 4:09. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is the real. Tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, they do it the right way every single day. It's Pella all the way through. And right now, they're doing it the right way at a level it's going to be incredible for you. You can pick out your window. You can pick out your door. Pick out your sliding patio door like I just did. And you know what? You pay no interest for 72 months. That's 6 years. 6 years. You have a baby. You have the diapers. You have 4K in kindergarten. You still aren't paying anything.
Wow.
That's a hell of a deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they've got the best product in the industry. Check out the Experience Center in Brookfield. It is really the real deal. It's PellaWI.com. Nothing. You pay nothing for 72 months. Check them out. PellaWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
So happy you're with us.
Yeah.
10 on WTMJ. Hope that you're having a great day at home or in your car with your family. So this is something that a lot of people are now Googling after the midair collision between a plane and a Black Hawk killed 67 people. That was awful. Then that plane that landed up on its roof at landing, hurting at least 18 people, no one killed. I was like, when was that? That was Monday.
Wow.
It has a lot of Americans feeling nervous to fly. Axios has tracked what people are now searching for when they're talking about flights. And the term, is it safe to fly? And people are pressing go, enter, and are searching that. Another one was, why are planes crashing?
Oh. Are you more nervous? Are you reluctant at all to fly? Has this given you pause?
No, not at all.
Me either, and I fly a lot.
The only time that was really bad for me was 9/11. And when I got on the plane the first time, like when the landing gear went back up into its belly, it went boom, and I screamed.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't scare me at all. It sounds like now it's a cliche because you hear it so often, but it's safer than driving home from work.
What about the door plug blowout from last year?
Nah, it didn't make me nervous.
Was that scary to
you? No. I mean, gosh, driving down Capitol Drive is more dangerous than flying anywhere, even in a blizzard.
Oh, no kidding.
Right?
Like me last night, trying to get off on Capitol Drive.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
So Delta Airlines now has an offer on the table for those poor passengers that ended up upside down. They were hanging like bats.
Mm-hmm.
That was the description a lot of people.
It was crazy to see it.
That were still strapped by their laps. It crash landed on Monday at $30,000. Would you take it?
Absolutely not. No, because if that's their starting offer, that's not going to be their final offer. There are going to be lawsuits. I'll tell you what, it's one call, that's all. I'm getting David Gruber on the phone. I'm saying, man, I need some help. I need some advice. For some people, $30,000 is a life-changing amount of money. That is a lot of money, but no, you know why they're offering the $30,000? Because then you're going to sign a sheet of paper that says you will not be part of a lawsuit. You will not go after them. You will not. So then if you take the $30,000 and 79 other people on the plane sign up for the class action lawsuit and they end up getting $300,000 each, guess who doesn't? You who took the $30,000. Would you take the $30,000?
No.
I understand why they're doing it.
I wish I could be a better person and not sue at all. But I mean, I almost died. I slid through a fireball. I'm upside down. I think I'm dead. I'd be worried about my loved one next to me. That's just beyond traumatizing.
But is there a dollar figure attached to that? I like what you said about, you don't want to be the one that sues. If you're not actually hurt.
There were 18 people that were critical.
What about the other 60, though?
Mental
Do they
anguish.
get to sue?
Mental anguish.
See, that sounds to me like it's just gaming the system.
Would you be traumatized?
Yes, but I'm traumatized by a lot of things, like especially as a TV reporter. I felt like I was traumatized a lot, didn't you? We would see things in the field that were traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I think I'd be traumatized, but I think we're too litigious. So now I go back to maybe I should take the $30,000 because then I'm not suing anybody. I'm just going, you're offering it to me.
Survived.
No doubt.
Honestly, I thought there were it was goners.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's 4:14 at WTMJ. All right, Republicans have a bunch of bills out related to education. We're going to take you inside those bills and think about these two questions because we want you to weigh in on this. Should they be teaching cursive in schools? Should that be mandatory? You bring back teaching handwriting in schools. And should cell phones be banned in all schools? Weigh in on those two questions. We'll tell you why we asked them after the break.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
On 894 North, just before the National Avenue exit, the right lane is closed. There's a medical emergency, it looks like.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Hello, Debbie. 41 South, just before Capitol Drive. There are 2 cars involved in an accident.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profiled the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes.
Ryan Lathrop, school bus driver, coming his way, a semi-truck in the other lane, and it's creeping over the center line.
Tried to get around him, see if I couldn't avoid him, and he ended up going right down the side of my bus. I don't feel that I'm a hero. I did just doing my job.
Everyday Hero, Thursdays at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Traffic and weather, it's Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how we doing?
Hey, John. So slowing down on 43 southbound, but that accident right around Fond du Lac Avenue has been cleared out of the way. Still about a 14-minute ride to get from Brown Deer Road to downtown, so it's about an extra 3 or 4 minutes. Backups mainly between Capitol Drive and Fond du Lac Avenue. Northbound's backing up a bit from Fond du Lac all the way up past Sutter Street. We've got some more delays heading southbound over the high-rise bridge on 4394 southbound. Then we've got more delays westbound 94 from 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's got a pocket of heavy traffic right past Barker Road towards Brookfield Road, and then again back on the brakes east of 84th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 7 degrees. Wind chills once again below 0 away from the lake. Tomorrow, sunny. High of 27. On Saturday, partly cloudy, 28. On Sunday, mostly cloudy, a high of 36 degrees. On Monday, a slight chance for rain, a high of 42 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee, clear skies and 24 degrees.
Our show is always better when you are part of it. You can text our Citing Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. So, less than 48 hours after Governor Evers gave his vision on the future, next 2 years, including public education, he was state superintendent, remember, in this budget address that he gave, Republicans introduced a slew of measures that they hope to take up, and it's already been passed on the Assembly floor. It's going on to the Senate. If signed into law, all 6 of these bills, it's a whole package, would take effect next year. This includes no cell phones in classrooms. That's a big rule for John.
Yeah, so some districts are implementing this. This would be statewide.
Okay.
Right? Well, give me the detail. What would it say?
In the law that is proposed, it says school boards would decide the consequences for violations. It would include allowing the confiscation of a phone for the remainder of the school day. It's not too bad. The only exceptions would be during emergencies, if the child has a health issue, or if the teacher wants you to use it for an educational reason. And I think that's reasonable.
I think it is too. I think get rid of them. You don't need them in the classroom. Maybe there's a situation set up, a scenario where you leave your phones in a cubby at the front of the classroom, you leave them in a basket, you do something so that if something terrible happens, kids physically have their phone in the room with them.
That was my concern.
Or you leave it in a backpack, but you cannot have the phone out. You cannot have the phone out. And then if something really terrible happens and there's a shooter in the school,
yes,
your phone is in the classroom and you can use it to call for help. But why would we let them have their phones out?
That was my only thing.
They're learning.
Well, and if someone's sick, if the kid's sick, like I would want my niece to call me or my sister-in-law.
But I think that if you go to the health room and if you need to call, then you call. But you don't need to use that in the school, like in the classroom. Why? Yeah, no.
All right.
Big time I agree with that. Get that out of here. Here's a texter weighing in. Yes, cell phones should be banned in schools. I know for some it's a safety blanket in case there's an emergency, but I think the whole world could stand less cell phones. So get the cell phones out of the school. That's a texter from the 414.
855-616-1620. All right, next one. Requiring cursive to be taught in elementary school, according to this bill, and every student must be able to write legibly in cursive by 5th grade. I didn't even think that this was a big issue. Some people in 6th grade in our state have no idea how to even read cursive.
So what do you think? Should it be taught? Should it be mandatory teaching?
Yeah, totally. It's a beautiful, I mean, I did calligraphy. Didn't you do that?
Yeah. Totally no.
How is that
no?
not?
This is a no.
How do you sign your
For me.
signature?
You learn how to sign your signature and that's it.
You print it like...
No, I haven't written cursive in a decade. I print everything. The keyboard is letters that are printed. Your phone is letters that are printed. You
love art.
I do.
How could you? That'd be such a lost part of the English language.
Because I think it's a waste of time. Books aren't in cursive. What, you need to be able to read a letter from George Washington? Why do you need to learn?
Why
do you need to read? Why do you need to read
cursive? I think it
cursive?
goes beyond that, though. I mean, there's a thing when you are writing things out between your hand and your brain with the cursive that actually has more of a connection to it. It's the kinesthetic learning kind of thing. I think there's a little bit more neurons get connected when you learn new ways of doing things like that. You don't have to
not pick up
live
my
with
pen.
it.
Yeah,
You don't have to stay with it as you get older. You can print after you learn, but the fact that you're learning something like that requires, fine muscle skills and being able to do that stuff, I think is not a problem with me. I don't mind them learning cursive.
I love it.
Even though it is like the Gen X code. We can write things where they don't understand what we're saying.
It takes things away from subjects that are important. Would I rather have a half hour of handwriting, or would I rather actual kids learn some geography or learn some world history or learn something that's more useful than artistic?
Why can't we do both?
Well, how long do you want the kids in school?
I mean, I learned it.
As an
you
elective.
learned it. How long did it take?
And you didn't. There wasn't like computer classes. There weren't things then that there are now that are more important.
You know what? Typewriting should be mandated. That's
You're gonna have
another
kids
one.
in school, Julia, till like 10 o'clock at night.
You peck like two little fingers.
And I type faster than you do.
No.
Now the words aren't spelled right.
No
The
one
words aren't
spells
always
worse
right.
than Arnie.
I just think, I don't know. I understand everything you guys are saying, and I respect it. I just think when we come to priorities that I don't want that to be a priority. And here's the thing I really have an issue with. Republicans are the ones who often say that they don't want mandates. This is mandating what schools do. This is getting involved. This is saying, like, you must teach cursive. Then next they're going to say, and you must teach about World War I for 17 days. And you must, I don't want micromanagement.
Oh, well, there's micromanagement with the cell phones, and you like that one.
We always,
all right, next one.
Touche, very nice. We always say that Democrats are too involved and micromanage. Well, isn't that exactly what this is?
Ready. Oh, okay, this one's a really big one. And a lot of people have talked about it, including Dale Koinga, who's with the Milwaukee Metropolitan Association of Commerce. And it passed the Assembly, going to the Senate, reinstating the old educational standards to measure school performance. Last year, State Superintendent Jill Underly changed the terms of achievement. So nationwide, you cannot compare a Wisconsin student to the national average. Basic, proficient, advanced. Now it's called meeting, approaching, developing.
I wonder why she did that. Doesn't want to know how our students compare to students in the rest of the country. Why would that be?
Republicans say there wasn't enough public input and it shouldn't be going on. It should go back to, I have two more. Do you want it?
Go for it.
All right. Change the way your tax dollars are used, making sure the money will not pay for all administrative costs. At least 70% of the money goes directly to the classroom. This can include teacher salaries, okay? And then curriculum transparency. It allows parents to know what's being taught in our schools. So even if you don't have a kid, and let's say I live in Shorewood, for example, I can go to the board and I can say, I want, written a request, I want to know every book that's taught in this elementary school. Within 14 days, the board has to do so.
I like that. So I like a lot of these, like that transparency thing, letting us know how our tax dollars are spent, bring back the educational standards. Those are all things that seem common sense. They shouldn't have been changed or they should be implemented now. But when you're talking about individual things in the classroom, I just think, like, get out of the way. Let school districts decide. Why do we have school districts? Why do we have school boards and principals? I mean, should we just let John Jagler decide what's going to be taught in every classroom?
You really do not like cursive.
I don't want John Jagler deciding what's taught in my kid's classroom. And I love John Jagler. He's on the show we have Jagler on all the time.
You are such an artist. You go,
I know, and I doodle all the time.
Like cursive.
I know.
What did cursive ever do to you?
That's a good question. Maybe I'll tell you later. It's 4:25 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Here we go. Everything was in the red today. The Dow ended down 451 points. The Nasdaq was off 94 points. The S&P was off 27 points. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here for the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. It's American Heart Month, the time to shed light on the leading cause of death for adults in our country, heart disease. We talked recently to Dr. Abhinav Sharma, a cardiologist with the Froedtert and Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Sharma shared risk factors, what can be done to prevent heart disease, the early signs and symptoms, and so much more. You can hear that conversation along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting.
Love snow blowing your driveway or shoveling your sidewalk? Yeah, right. Well, if you lived in a brand new Cornerstone development community, someone else handles those duties. Buy a brand new home in the Grove in River Hills, the Glen at Stonewall Farms in Grafton, the Glen at Standing Stone in Waukesha, or the Glen at Wanakee in Menominee Falls, and they take care of the maintenance. All built with your selection of finishes. If you downsize, there's a clubhouse for when you temporarily need to upsize. Take a virtual tour and see for yourself at cornerstonedevelopment.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You've been dealing with it forever, right? That ankle pain or the back or knee pain. It was a nuisance at first, and you kind of just put up with it. Now it's nearly debilitating for you, and it's affecting everything you do. It's time to get rid of that. Let's get rid of that pain that's always just kind of been there. You don't even remember how long it's been now. Call QC Kinetics. Groundbreaking treatments for arthritis pain, long-term relief. It is possible. Joint pain doesn't get better with time. So before it's absolutely debilitating, see if you're a candidate for this life-changing regenerative treatment. No painkillers, no surgery, no downtime. QC Kinetics regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. Patients right here in southeast Wisconsin. They have a location in Mequon and another in Greenfield. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. And if it's easier on your schedule, they're even open on Saturdays. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients, since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
My USPS Ground Advantage package just left the warehouse. I get all the updates. Stay in the know with USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: an anti-drug violation leads to serious repercussions.
I'm Julia Fellow, confirmed in a narrow Senate vote.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got westbound 94 really slowing down out of the Marquette now. We got, looks like a broken down vehicle at 35th Street, but that's off on the right shoulder. A little bit of sun glare out there as well, so you're seeing delays pretty much all the way through the stadium. On the eastbound side, slowing right past Barker Road and then back on the brakes from 92nd Street to 35th. Southbound on 41, slowing from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down from North Avenue up to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Frosty tonight. It will be 8 by the lake, 4 inland. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 28 degrees. Right now, it's 24 degrees and mostly sunny in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the NBA has suspended Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug policy.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis consumed a non-team issued medication that happens to be on the NBA's banned substance list.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
Bucks president Peter Fagan, Portis will be allowed to practice with the team. As for an appeal,
it would not be appealed by the Bucks. It would be appealed by the Players Association, but I do not think it will be.
Portis will miss 25 of the Bucks' final 29 regular season games. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Portis claims he unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol.
Chief Halsey Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, explains to WTMJ how Portis could have mistaken these two drugs.
Tramadol is a weaker opioid. So what that means is it's an opioid just like oxycodone, Oxycontin, all these other opioids that treat pain in a unique sort of way, but can cause dependency, can cause altered, mental status. Toradol is an anti-inflammatory, very similar to ibuprofen and given for kind of muscle injuries.
He says the key thing to remember?
Both of these are prescription medications. They're not medications that you can just walk into Walgreens or CVS and pick up over the counter.
NBA banned the use of Tramadol last year.
2 people are injured after a morning crash flips over a school bus. Milwaukee police say it happened early this morning on Milwaukee's east side. A speeding car blew through a stop sign and hit the bus, flipping it over. A 45-year-old bus driver was taken to the hospital. No one else was on the bus. The 22-year-old driver of the car was also treated for injuries before being arrested.
In national news, the Senate narrowly confirmed Kash Patel to lead the FBI.
In a 51-49 vote, the Senate confirmed the nation's next FBI director, Trump loyalist Kash Patel. Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska were the 2 Republicans to vote no in a split that otherwise fell along party lines. Patel has vowed to steer the FBI towards its traditional crime-fighting role rather than intelligence gathering. Critics are concerned he will use the role to seek political retribution. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
During this afternoon's White House press briefing, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz called the president a deal maker in chief. He also expressed confidence in Trump's ability to end the war in Ukraine.
His goal, Peter, is to bring this war to an end, period. And there has been ongoing fighting on both sides. It is World War I style trench warfare.
Waltz also referred to the ongoing conflict as World War I style trench warfare.
Crews are working to remove ice in cars after a water main break. Waterworks Superintendent Patrick Pauly tells WTMJ this year has already seen nearly 200 water main breaks across our city,
which is unusual when you look at our most recent 10-year history. January was very high, 135, and then we are over 60 in February to date.
He tells us that crews will use calcium chloride to try to thaw the ice.
A road project on Milwaukee's lakefront could soon get a big funding boost. The Lakefront Gateway project at Lincoln Memorial Drive and East Michigan is in line to receive $16 million in additional funding. That's according to the city. The Milwaukee Business Journal reports bids for the project would go out in early spring, with construction tentatively expected to be completed by the end of 2026.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. While Brewers players get more reps during spring training, managers are still working on the lineup.
Pat Murphy offered some clarity on the murky image that is the Brewers infield for the 2025 season. Where will Tyler Black fit in?
I think we're pretty certain we got a good ball player. I don't think we're going to be surprised by that.
But which corner does he slot in at?
He will not get more reps at third than first.
First base?
Absolutely.
In the first alignment of defense on Wednesday, the Brewers had Caleb Durbin and Oliver Dunn at third, Joey Ortiz at short, Bryce Terang at second, and Rhys Hoskins joining Tyler at first. From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
And your Milwaukee Bucks back in action at home tonight against the Clippers, possibly without Giannis and Lillard, who are both listed as questionable. Definitely out forward Bobby Portis, who suspended 25 games for using a banned substance. Our coverage starts right after the 6 o'clock news.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
She says, I like the nightlife.
Hey, the Milwaukee Auto Show kicks off this weekend at the Baird Center in downtown, the beautiful Baird Center. WTMJ's Vince Vetrano spoke with Jim Tolkien, president of the Automobile Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee, about the event, the Black Tie Gala, which kicks off on Friday night, and a bunch of other fun stuff.
The car is you. You are the car. Okay? Let's ride!
I've always said, Jim, having had the opportunity to go a number of times myself, it's also a phenomenal way to see the auto show.
Oh, it is. It's great. You get to eat, you get to drink, you get to socialize, and at the same time, you get to look at all the cars and trucks.
Adam, and so many of the family dealerships here in Southeast Wisconsin support this event, and the money always goes to a good cause.
It does.
Tell us about who will benefit this year.
This year, it's the St. Francis Children's Center, and they provide services for special needs children primarily, but also children without special needs.
Jim Tolkien is the president of the Automobile Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. The auto show runs through March 2nd downtown. Let's talk about the auto show itself. What are you super excited about this year?
Well, we've got all the major brands. That's been a difficult task this year in terms of auto shows because many manufacturers elected just to not partake at all, which makes no sense because auto shows really do sell cars. And there's some really cool cars that are not misses to see.
Okay, let's go through a few of them.
One's a 225 Ram Charger EV. The new 2025 Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. The all-new 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser. Totally new, totally redesigned.
I'm sensing a theme, though, here. No sedans in that list.
There are no sedans. The ratio between cars, sedans, or coupes to light-duty trucks is about 81 or 82%.
No kidding.
Light-duty trucks, and the balance of about 18% nationwide being cars.
Dad, this is not the car you ordered.
You know, I think you're right. I don't think this is the car. This is the new Wagon Queen family truckster. This is a damn fine automobile, if you want my honest opinion. Beats the hell out of the sports wagon, but I want to make you happy, huh?
The thing I love as a consumer about the auto show is the opportunity to see a lot of different brands and talk and learn about the vehicles in a total no-pressure situation.
That's the selling point and the reason people go to auto shows. Let's say a family knows they're in the market for a car. This way they can look and compare all the different models there are. And let's say they're looking for a small crossover vehicle. Well, they can look at 4 or 5 of them right next to each other virtually. Ask questions from the product experts, sit in them, bring the whole family, see how the rest of the family.
We did that one year for minivans. Kids crawling all over the place. Go in here, sit in this.
And then you can go back home, narrow down your decision-making process.
This coming year, this 2025, what's the outlook for inventory? Are there a lot of cars on the lots? Are there deals to be had? What do you see?
Inventory should be good. It should be better than it's been over the last several years, which means they have all the models and multiples of all the models with different equipment packages and all the various colors.
What does it mean for me on price then?
It's a good time.
Good.
Because there's inventory and you can negotiate.
And just one question I might ask you, and it might sound like a disaster. Can you make this thing go faster? It doesn't to me,
The gala's Friday night. Tickets are still available. The show runs Saturday through March 2nd at the Baird Center. All right, so we're going to be there. We're going to be there on Friday. Is Friday the 28th? Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be there. Brandon loves it when we're not in the building because then he doesn't have to see us.
It's all one level.
Yes, in the Baird Center. It's going to be really, really incredible.
I'm going to get there early.
Are you looking forward to going down there?
Yeah, I saw the VW Buzz last year, so I can't wait to see what's new this year.
Yeah, we got to spend time in the Baird Center during the RNC, and it was really, really cool. So if you haven't been in the Baird Center, that alone makes it worth going to the auto show. And it's super affordable, so tickets are available for the gala. Tickets are available for the show. You should get in there, and you should check it out. We're there from 3 to 6. The whole show will be there on Friday the 28th. So come on by, say hello. I don't know where we're going to be yet, but we'll find that out. We should pick a cool spot near, I don't know, what kind of cars do you like? Near the Subaru dealership.
Yeah, that's what I drive.
Yeah, or maybe near the Explorer dealership. That's what I drive.
Yes, Griffin.
Or maybe near where Brandon's big trucks are parked. His truck is huge.
Oh, my gosh.
It's massive.
It's so big. It scared me.
Yeah, I think he's compensating for something with a truck that big. I mean, that thing is so huge. That's what she said.
He was like, hey, bye. And I turn around like, oh, my God. Whoa.
Yeah.
You are
wrong. He's also got a badass motorcycle. He's got the best rides of the WAN team.
Oh, hands
right?
down.
No doubt. It is
And-
4:43 at
and the most
WTMJ.
kids.
And the most kids. You could add up his kids to the kids of everybody else on the WAN team, and he's still more than double. It's because he's got that big truck. Yeah, you know what I mean. All right. Coming up, Bobby Portis in hot water. He's really in trouble. He's really done it this time. I mean, it's not a good situation. We're going to explain. He says he accidentally took one painkiller when he's trying to take another. What's the difference between the two drugs? Why is the one considered performance enhancing? And that just happened, by the way, this year. And what's the impact likely to be on the Bucs? Our Bucs insider, Big Truck Boy, will help us break that down. Coming up after traffic and weather on WTMJ.
Are we sure they aren't named after nail clippers?
How often do you cut your toenails?
I would say every 2.5 to 8 weeks.
Because they sure are experts at trimming down expectations. The Clippers come to Milwaukee to take on the Bucs.
He's now just 4 of 11. How about Kuzma the other way? Flushes it through, bringing the Thunder with a one-hand slam down the lane.
Our Bucs radio game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucs. WTMJ.
Otto's Wine and Spirits, best selection, best value. I love this place. They're employee-owned. They really, really care. When you're in there, you feel that. Okay, it's one thing to care, and I want that in the places I shop. It's another thing to make sure you're getting the best value, and you get that at Otto's. They have the best prices going. I bought a handle of Tito's, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't believe it was definitely more affordable than like in Pick and Save. It just is. They're open 7 days a week. They've got the Email Wine Club, which I absolutely love. They're celebrating a big old birthday. They're 80 this year. Let's celebrate with them. They're Wisconsin strong. They're part of our community. They'll beat any advertised price. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I've only been on this weight loss journey for 3 weeks. I've already lost 23 pounds thanks to the amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been eating healthier, drinking more water, and I feel a lot more energized. There's no better way to start the new year.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices Sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazica, how are the roads?
Well, we've got some delays along southbound 43, pretty much from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette, over the high-rise bridge, all the way down to the KK River crossing. Northbound slowing down from just before Fond du Lac Avenue up past North Avenue. Southbound on 41, looks like we've got some delays from just before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. A couple broken down vehicles here and there. We've got northbound with a crash at Hampton off on the left shoulder. And then we've got some more delays northbound from Mayfair Road, pretty much all the way up past Burleigh. Eastbound 94, delays from 92nd Street all the way through to about 35th. On the westbound side, slow from 16th Street to Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Frosty tonight, 4 inland, 8 at the lake. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 27. Cloudy Saturday, a high of 28 degrees. Cloudy Sunday with a high of 36 degrees. A slight rain chance Monday with a high of 42 degrees. Right now, it's mostly sunny and 24 degrees in Milwaukee.
Bobby on the right wing. He'll fire another three. Why not? Bobby Portis, back-to-back threes, and the Bucks lead by 13. Portis up to 21.
Milwaukee, Milwaukee, Milwaukee. The word around town is we're lighting it up. So who's gonna win it? The Bucks, the Bucks, the purple and
Bobby Portis, a big part of the Bucks' success the last several years, including their championship season. Bobby Portis will not be playing the next 25 games, suspended by the NBA for taking a banned substance. A banned substance. I want to read a couple statements to you, kind of set the stage here. We'd like for you to be part of the conversation. As a Bucks fan, how are you sitting here at 4:49 on the Thursday that he got suspended with 30 games left in the season? Are you feeling like the season's done? Are you feeling like, well, he'll be rested and he'll have a week's worth of games before the playoffs? How are you feeling about the Bobby situation? Are you disappointed?
With a game tonight.
Yeah. Are you angry? Are you not buying what he's selling? How do you feel about the Bobby situation? The Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Give us a call. We'll take some calls, and we will also read some texts. So be part of the conversation, 855-616-1620. As we line up the calls and texts, here's some of the background.
Okay.
So the agent for Portis released the following statement after news broke this morning that he was going to be suspended for 25 games. I'm devastated for Bobby right now because he made an honest mistake and the ramifications are incredibly significant. Bobby unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol. Toradol is an approved pain medication that he has used previously and the teams and players use for pain and inflammation. Tramadol is not an approved pain medication. It was just recently added to the banned substance list this spring. The statement from his agent goes on. Tramadol, the pill he took, came from an assistant of his with a valid prescription for the painkiller, which he mistakenly told Bobby was Toradol. This was an honest mistake that was made because of the similarity in the names of the drugs and the fact they both serve a very similar purpose. Bobby was using this anti-inflammatory pain-reducing medication to deal with an elbow injury he had this past fall. Okay, let's stop here. I want to talk through this and try to understand this. So the assistant says it was a valid prescription for the painkiller. It's not clear, unless somebody can correct me, I can't find anywhere any validation that it was either Bobby's prescription or the assistant's. I just have not been able to find that. Okay, it says Bobby accidentally took Tramadol, thinking it was Toradol. Tramadol's the illegal one. That's what he accidentally took. Were there prescriptions for both? Did the pharmacist accidentally prescribe Tramadol?
No.
Well, why would he have Tramadol around and in his possession if it's illegal? If it's a banned substance? He's saying he accidentally took that.
Then obviously it wasn't his prescription.
Is that obvious?
Why wouldn't he just go to the team doctor?
Maybe it was from the team doctor. Like, we don't know. Isn't it the team doctor who probably writes the prescriptions?
From how I read it and how the newsroom was reading it, we read it as it's the assistant's prescription.
So can you find that? Is that written somewhere? Or is that just an interpretation of what I just read?
It's the interpretation of what was read.
See, I think that's not clear. But we don't know. There's so many unanswered questions. That's part of the problem with this. Bobby Portis isn't going to urgent care and getting a prescription, right? It has to be a team doctor. The Bucs have team doctors. Isn't it the team doctors who write the prescriptions?
They would know.
They would know, and if
Just
not, they
do
should know. It's
that.
not an excuse.
Well, maybe he was in a lot of pain.
Okay. Yeah, well, take some Tylenol. Or do you want to be off for 25 games? You can't
Not
do that.
paid. Brandon, can he be at the games or at the practice? Oh, he's on the phone. Never mind.
He's answering some phone calls.
I know-
Actually, let's do this then. Let's go to the phone.
Okay.
Paul's on the North Shore. Paul, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Thanks for taking my call, guys.
What do you think?
If you do a quick search, if you do a quick search of the two pills, a Google search, one is a round pill and one is a oval oblong pill. So if you took the Toradol, a couple days, and then all of a sudden you mistakenly took a Tramadol, it's a different shaped pill. So I know when I take my vitamin in the morning, I would know that it would be a different pill if somebody handed me a different type of multivitamin.
That's a great point. That's a
I'm
great
just
point.
saying.
I take a pill for reflux.
Well, what do you think
and
about
I would know
him-
if the pill was
yeah.
different.
Yeah. And what do you think about him blaming the assistant?
I don't know. It's a scapegoat, right? I think Bobby knew exactly what he was doing, but I guess we'll never know. We have the statement.
Yeah, you're right. We'll never know. Hey, thank you very much for the phone call. Be part of the conversation at 855-616-1620.
I mean, this isn't steroids.
No,
I'm
it's
just
not.
saying.
It's not, but it's performance enhancing.
And you have information on that, right?
Yeah. So if you want to be part of the conversation, give a call. I'm going to get into that part of it. So is it a performance enhancing drug? It is, according to the World Doping Agency. And I'll tell you why. This is what they say. Cyclists use this a lot. And we've all talked about how cyclists, Lance Armstrong and others, have been cheaters through the years, right? They did a series of tests with cyclists. 27 of the highest trained cyclists in the world were screened for Tramadol. They found out none of them had Tramadol in the system. Then they gave half the cyclists Tramadol. They gave the other half a placebo. The cyclists did not know if they were taking the Tramadol or just a sugar pill, basically, okay? And so then after they took that, they had them do intense cycling tasks, heavy exercise, and they found out those who took Tramadol had faster times. They recovered quicker. It more effectively masked the pain, and they did better. So because of that and the fact that they've had a rampage of this in the English Premier League, the World Doping Society and the NBA said this helps you perform better. This makes you less tired. It lets you recover faster. It's an enhancer. And so they outlawed it. It's also a narcotic. It's very highly addictive.
It's addictive, yeah. That's why I thought.
I mean, the soccer player, the footballer, Kirkland was his last name, became hooked on this and became suicidal, and he was using it to enhance his performance. And so the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, said Tramadol is now on the prohibited list.
Well,
You
try to
cannot
skirt
use
the
it.
lines, and then they find this one drug that, hasn't been. But now it is. He's out of a lot of money.
This is from Pete at the 262. I believe it's an honest mistake by Bobby, but it sounds like it wasn't his prescription. And even as just a private citizen non-athlete, taking someone else's prescription is illegal. Right. I think that's the significance of the violation. So the suspension is warranted. Another text. So if my understanding is correct, if you're a professional basketball player, the employer can override the input of the player's doctor if prescribed the medication. Secondly, how is this a performance-enhancing medication? It's a painkiller. I just explained that. It's quite easy to understand where the mix-up in medication name occurred. Yes, the names are very similar, but if you're used to taking one, which he said he was, and they're different shapes, you would know that. Hey, this isn't the same pill that I've been taking for the last 2 weeks, right? Another text. I work in the healthcare industry, and mistakes in similar-sounding names is not uncommon within healthcare. So having a non-medical person make this sort of mistake is totally understandable. Another one.
I want to believe Bobby so badly from the 414. I do too.
They say we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I'm sad. I mean, until we know definitively otherwise, right? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Until we know otherwise. And then shame on us if he fools us all. But, I mean, all we have is what his word is.
And he's not appealing.
Yeah. It's 4:57 at WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Grab your to-do list and head to Fleet Farm for Project Days, happening now through the 26th. Carhartt fans get a free $20 gift card with every $100 worth of Carhartt gear. Good on your next Fleet Farm purchase. Sprout Sweet Mix for horses and livestock is just $8.99 a bag. And save $50 on a Milwaukee M18 Compact Brushless Drill Driver Kit, now only $149. And save big on Milwaukee tools during Milwaukee Deal Days, February 20th through the 26th at Fleet Farm.
Get ready to fiesta with Margarita Week at Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria, February 17th to 22nd. Sip on their loaded Blue Bat Margarita. Plus, buy any 2 handhelds and get a free Firecracker Chicken Bow. Happy Hour runs Monday to Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., and daily specials include $3 margaritas and free chips and salsa. Wrap it all up on National Margarita Day, Saturday, February 22nd, with live music and more. Visit Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward for the ultimate margarita celebration. Get all the info at BlueBatKitchen.com.
John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. They're the best in the business. I know my water is crisp, clean, and clear because Guthrie and Fry protects it. I've got a couple of their things in my house. The reverse osmosis system, it's a little filter system. I don't even see that it's there, but I know that the water we drink is going through that system, and it's taking out all those little contaminants. If you've got dogs, if you've got children, if you've got just your wife, I don't mean just your wife, you want to make sure the water is excellent. You get that with Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. The water softener is top tier, doesn't take up a lot of room. They bring the salt down to the basement, so I know our water is incredible. With Guthrie and Fry, it's quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. I trust Guthrie and Fry, Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in Southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Some current employees or candidates for jobs may seem just average at first glance, while others have exceptional potential waiting to be discovered. Question is, how do you identify which ones are truly ready to excel? The LAK Group offers a huge range of employee assessments, so you have objective data backed by research to make hiring and development decisions. They even have culture assessments to uncover gaps and opportunities within your company. See all their assessments at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Comfortable locations, comfortable people. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. More federal workforce cuts looming.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43 is a little bit backed up, basically from Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette, down to about the KK River crossing. The northbound side's heavy from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Burleigh as well. Westbound 94, a little bit backed up with a broken down vehicle at 35th Street. This is off on the right shoulder. That plus sun glare is starting to slow you down from 16th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Back on the brakes west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. Eastbound's backed up basically from about Highway F all the way through to Brookfield Road. 92nd Street all the way to about 35th. By the way, we do have a crash northbound on 41 at Hampton out of traffic. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mainly clear tonight, cold and frosty. 8 at the lake, 4 inland. Sunny skies tomorrow, a high of 28. Right now, it's 22 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Bucks resume the regular season tonight against the Clippers at home without power forward Bobby Portis. He's suspended by the NBA, 25 games for a banned substance.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a medication called Toradol. The pills were not team issued. Bucks president Peter Feigin is standing behind the player.
We believe this was an honest mistake. Bobby has and will continue to take drug tests, of which he's never had any issues with.
The Bucks have 29 games left in the regular season.
It is a real consequence to be suspended for 25 games.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Fagan also says he's not expecting an appeal from the Players Association.
The NBA recently banned Tramadol. Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, tells WTMJ why that makes sense.
Banning something like Tramadol, these are similar to other medications that in theory can decrease somebody's susceptibility to pain, can cause them alteration of mental status and performing, could potentially be dangerous to perform in sports when you're on these medications at the same time. So I would imagine those are some of the reasons why a sports league would not allow players to compete when they're on these medications.
Dr. Weston says that when medications sound the same, it can lead to medical errors even when they're prescribed by a doctor.
The CDC reports we are in the worst flu season in 15 years, and even the vaccine has not done a great job.
If you don't get the vaccine, you're going to have a really, really bad week.
Dr. Tim Richer of Tosa Pediatrics tells Wisconsin's Morning News this year's flu shot is helping people recover quicker, but only about 35% effective at preventing illness.
3 strains in the vaccine this year, and they're close. They're just not perfect. And they rarely are. A great year is 75%.
He also warns influenza B could be the next wave to hit. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
More federal workforce cuts are coming, and one plan for the IRS could impact the self-employed. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
According to our reporting, 3,500 people expected to lose their jobs at the IRS by tomorrow, and the numbers could go up eventually over the next couple of months to 6,000. And what Hassett had to say was that basically there's plenty of fat to cut there. He said that there are people who are not fully employed with, don't have enough to do, essentially. There are people who've been working from home.
The Pentagon is also being told to get leaner.
The Senate confirmed President Trump's nominee, Kash Patel, as the next director of the FBI in a narrow 51-49 vote. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson.
But a big question of what's going to happen in the FBI, especially since many FBI agents have been told that they may be fired, and quite a few of them feel like that they will be under the gun with Kash Patel as the director.
The vote puts Trump loyalists atop the nation's premier federal law enforcement agency, despite Democrats' doubts about his qualifications and concerns he will go after Republican president's adversaries.
Coming up, move over, King Tut.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Taxes in retirement could take a bigger bite out of your savings than ever before. With a rising tax environment, many retirees are worried about running out of money. At Drake & Associates, we understand those fears, and we're here to help you feel more confident about your retirement. That's why we're offering a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you take control of your financial future. Don't let rising taxes catch you off guard. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free resources. That's TAX to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 5:07.
Egyptologists have discovered a pharaoh's tomb for only the second time in history.
What do you do when you've become only the second archaeologist in history to discover an Egyptian pharaoh's tomb?
When I came out, my wife was waiting outside, and the only thing I could do was burst into tears.
Piers Litherland says King Thutmose II likely didn't have as lavish a burial as Tutankhamun, but it will be a while before he finds out. The tomb he found had been emptied within years of Thutmose's death after it flooded. But Litherland thinks he's on track to find Thutmose II's second tomb. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis suspended for 25 games for using a banned substance. Portis' agent releasing a statement saying Bobby unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol. He thought he was taking Toradol. Meanwhile, the Bucks resume the regular season tonight at home against the Clippers. Coverage of tonight's game follows the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And a hockey rematch tonight as Team USA faces Canada in the finals of the Four Nations Face-Off.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 5:08.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Oh, man, there's a big old hockey game tonight. It's the USA against Canada. Yeah, let's go. We're not feeling too great about Canada now these days, and I'm not even talking about all the political stuff. Their boys are acting like punks. We took them out in the last game. Now it's for all the stuff tonight. Matthew Tatakchek is on Team USA and was asked about the feeling between the two squads.
The hockey rivalry between the U.S. and Canada right now?
Just lots of hatred.
Just lots of hatred.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo! I guess so, because there were 3 major fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. It all started because apparently our boys are ticked off that fans have been booing in Canada our national anthem. So they said,
disgusting.
We're not putting up with that. So they don't like each other. Tatakchek also said this is more now than just a hockey game.
It would mean absolutely everything to me, and I think it would mean even more to the country and to the next generation of players and past players and people that represent the country. We're playing for something that's so much more than just yourself, and that's what's so incredible about wearing the USA colors. And it's probably one of the best rivalries going.
Let's go, USA!
I would never think to boo someone else's national
No,
anthem.
that's in really poor taste. By the way, that's probably going to happen tonight in Boston. So tonight the Canadians are playing in Boston, and you know those Bostonians are going to be booing the hell out of the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. So now Donald Trump has weighed in on this. Donald Trump said this morning, hey, I'm getting ready to call our great American hockey team to spur them on towards victory tonight against Canada, with which far lower taxes and stronger security will someday maybe become our cherished 51st state. Trump saying they're going to be our 51st state. He said, hey, we're going to be watching the game tonight. If Governor Trudeau up there would like to join us, he'll be most welcome, calling their top elected official the governor of the 51st state of the United States of America. And indeed, the president did call members of our hockey team, and they were pretty excited. This is USA's Jack Hughes.
It was good. Just said he was watching and excited to watch tonight.
How did it make you feel?
Good. Definitely cool when the president's, talking to us as a group. So pretty cool.
Team USA's Matt Boldy, he says he's ready to go and was jazzed as hell to get the phone call.
That's pretty cool. I think obviously he's a very influential person in our world, and it's special. It's I think it speaks to kind of how good the tournament's been for hockey, and the exposure that's kind of given and created kind of a new group of fans.
John, do you want to read the text that just sent to us?
You read it. I don't have it up. What does it say?
From the 414. There are plenty of us who will be cheering for Canada tonight. Our national anthem deserves the respect it currently has been given. Donald Trump did this to us.
I'm ticked at that person,
That's
whoever
not
they
nice.
are. Thank you for listening to the show. We love you.
Yeah, we love that you're listening to the
Yeah,
show.
you have
But
good taste
I
in
wouldn't
radio.
boo Canada.
No, I wouldn't boo their anthem either.
It started
It's
with them booing
classless.
us.
Right. It started with the president saying that they should be our 51st state and we're going to put tariffs on them. That's why they booed our national anthem. But don't boo our national anthem.
I didn't say that.
Don't boo
That's
our
not
national
nice.
anthem.
That's not nice.
That's classless. I wouldn't boo their anthem. If I was in Boston, I would not boo
No
their anthem
way.
either. Go USA. Let's go. Let's go get this. Even if that caller in the 414 is cheering for Canada. Great, 414.
No,
cheer
that's
for
all
Canada.
good.
I'm going to give out his phone number on the air right now.
No.
And then everybody can let them know how they feel.
No.
I would never do that, 414. And we do appreciate you listening to the show. Should we give out the number?
I love Niagara Falls. There you go.
Yeah, you know what? The Canadian side's better than the American side, actually.
It is. American Falls, is that what it is?
Oh, ooh. Well,
isn't that what it is?
It's Niagara Falls.
No, the American side.
They call it just the American side and the Canadian side, but it's all called Niagara Falls.
I don't think that's right.
That's right, isn't it? It's Niagara Falls. I'll look it up. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought everybody called it Niagara Falls. No? Okay, it could be. We'll check Google Maps and see what the Google machine says. All right, you can get back to us on that. Charles Benson up next on WTMJ.
It's American Falls.
Wait, who calls it American Falls?
The American side of Niagara Falls includes American Falls.
But when you buy stuff from there, I was there a few years ago, all the souvenirs, like the Christmas ornament I bought, says Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the best part is in Canada.
Oh,
This
so some of the
person-
falls are America Falls and some are Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew there was a difference in the name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very interesting.
This person from the 414 is like, what is going on?
Yeah, everybody listening right now is like, what is going on?
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
We're talking with Alex Wenzel from Lion's Tail Brewing Company. You have a yoga partner. Is that just in Tosa or is that in Neenah too?
Yeah, we try all different kinds of things. You never know what's going to work. Bingo, and we do an Oktoberfest up in Neenah and food trucks all the time. You just keep trying things and trying to reach different people and see what works.
Everyone's doing beer yoga these days.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Let me tell you about Griffin Chevrolet in the Metro Auto Mall. Griffin Chevrolet is absolutely fantastic. The last car we bought from Griffin Chevrolet. It's a black Blazer. It is sweet. It's got the heated steering wheel. It's all decked out. It's roomier than I thought it would be. Michelle absolutely loves it. Says it's her favorite vehicle. It's Griffin Chevrolet, and they've got a big selection right now. Used trucks and capable SUVs, 80 new vehicles right there on the lot. And they've got stuff that starts at under $20,000 and goes all the way up to the most decked-out ride you could ever imagine. They'll even order your car for you if there's something specific that you're looking for. It's Griffin Chevrolet, home for the stylish and affordable Chevrolet Trax, the Trailblazer. They've got everything in the Chevy lineup right there. And the service department is incredible. The tire special right now, $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires with free tire repair and lifetime tire rotation. Cannot be combined with any other tire offers. Tires must be mounted, balanced, and installed at Griffin Chevrolet. See Service Advisor for details. It's Griffin Chevrolet in the Metro Auto Mall.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive professional servers and bartenders. You'll make great cash. Inquire today. Start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com. Traffic and weather. How's that ride rolling, Debbie?
Well, we do still have delays along southbound 41 coming in from just before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound is backing up basically from just north of Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Burleigh. Part of the problem was originally an accident northbound 41 right around Hampton Avenue. It was off on the left shoulder. That's actually been cleared. Just a couple of broken down vehicles in the area now. We've got eastbound 94 slowing down from 92nd Street all the way to 35th. Westbound 94, that's a heavy ride from 16th to Mitchell Boulevard. Highway 100 all the way out towards Elm Grove Road. Actually more towards Sunny Slope. And then we've got more delays on the bypass heading southbound from the zoo down to Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Beloit Road down and around the Hale onto 894 eastbound past Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, another cold one tonight. Partly cloudy, low of 7. Wind chills down to 5 below inland. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 27. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 28. Sunday, mostly cloudy, a high of 36. On Monday, slight chance for rain, a high of 42 degrees. Right now, clear skies and 22 degrees. Charles Benson is the senior national political reporter for Scripps News and the chief political reporter at TMJ4. He's the best in the business. Charles, thank you so much for being with us.
Great to be with you guys.
Hey, let's paint a broad stroke when we talk about the governor's budget to begin with. What jumped out at you? You've heard a lot of these addresses. What caught your attention?
Well, I think for Tony Evers, he's been a guy that's always been behind education, so I think he's going to continue to champion that issue and sort of see himself as the education governor. Where he has drawn battles with Republicans is over not necessarily, well, certainly over how he wants to spend money, but how does he want to return money when the state is running a surplus? And so he put out a big number this time around in terms of a tax cut. I think the number was somewhere around $2 billion. Now, he looks at it to go specifically more targeted to middle class and lower income folks. And that's where things get rewritten by Republicans who still have the majority in the Assembly and still have the majority in the Senate. So I think what's going to be interesting is always that battle around what sort of tax cuts will there be? Who will get them? Is that $2 billion the starting point? Will Republicans use that number or go higher? And I think as you watch this all unfold, which should be now over the next several months, the goal is always to have a budget sometime by the end of June. And I think that will help us determine just where he might be willing to compromise when it comes to the Republicans, which he's done in the past around tax cuts.
And the Assembly also introduced a slew of bills that passed and is going to the Senate regarding education. I saw that Republicans were warm to one idea that the governor had, which was increasing funding to special education. But is there anything that the governor might be warming to, like cursive in schools, cell phone usage in schools?
Yeah, those are more of the policy issues. I think when you look at the big budget, the big issues, where he might fall on some of those individual ideas, I'm not really clear or sure right now. But around special education, that has always been a favorite and a concern of Governor Evers. And I think when he travels around the state, when he goes to schools, that is something I've often heard him talk about. So when you look at, here we are, midterm for Tony Evers, 2 years left. This is a 2-year budget. I think a lot of people will be trying to read into, okay, so is this his last budget, or is he positioning himself for another run as governor?
All right, Charles, so you've covered a lot of campaigns. As you listen to what he said, and Republicans are already talking about who their candidates might be, did you sense he's at least leaving the door open, or did you sense that maybe he's just pushing hard to finish with a big boom?
Yeah, so I think he definitely wants to give the impression that he's not going to send a signal that would somehow put him in a lame duck position. So you would expect Tony Evers or any other governor in this position to look like you're going to, run strong, finish strong, get this budget done, and then decide what to do. But I think everybody in the back of their minds are going to be asking this question, is 2 terms, is that it for Tony Evers? He's 73 years old. If he goes on to seek a 3rd term, he would be 75 if he ends up winning 2 years from now. So there's a lot to think about. But look, when you look at the polling on Tony Evers, he's still a guy who generally is plus 50. And in this state, which is equally divided, a plus 50 is a pretty good number when you look at U.S. senators, when you look at presidential candidates and VPs. So he still looks to be a middle-of-the-road guy, even though he is a strong Democrat for Democrats and leans on a lot of issues that favor Democrats. But he ends up in polls looking as more of a 50-50 and a more of a favorable person. And I'm wondering how much he'll sort of weigh that where Democrats are. Do they think they have a bench that is ready to take on in 2026? What does that look like? And then that would be a completely open seat there where you'd see a bunch of names flood the zone on who could be running for governor in 2026.
And that would be his lasting mark no matter what.
TMJ4's chief political reporter, Charles Benson. Good stuff, Charles. Thank you.
You're welcome.
524 WTMJ. Let's check the markets. It was not a great day, and it started early on in the day when Walmart cautioned their outlook is pessimistic. They're worried about tariffs. So the Dow slid 450 points on the day. It ended the day down 451, actually, to 44,176. The NASDAQ was off 94 points to 19,962. The S&P on the day was off 27 points. It now sits off its record high at 6117. Annex Wealth Management, they'll take care of you. They have financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. February is American Heart Month, a time when we can shed some light on heart disease, the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Here to talk about the importance of caring for your heart and when to see a cardiologist is Dr. Abhinav Sharma, a Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin cardiologist. Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What is heart disease?
There are various forms of heart disease. The most common form is the coronary artery disease, which results from blockages in the blood vessels of the heart, mostly from cholesterol. Then there is heart valve disease, heart failure, and a group of diseases that patients are generally born with, the so-called congenital heart diseases.
When should someone see a cardiologist? How do they know?
Primary care doctor will refer you to a cardiologist when needed. You may also want to see a cardiologist if you have risk factors such as high blood pressure or high cholesterol, or you have a family history of heart disease, especially early onset of heart disease.
Dr. Sharma, how is heart disease treated?
Many conditions can be treated for years with medications. When needed, options include minimally invasive treatments. Our team is skilled in the latest treatments for common to complex heart conditions, such as arrhythmias and other conditions that require surgical interventions.
Why should someone choose the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin cardiology team?
We have a large cardiology practice with doctors throughout eastern Wisconsin, ensuring that you can receive heart care close to home or work. Our team includes specialists with advanced training in specific diagnoses. When needed, our cardiology team connects with other cardiovascular experts or providers in other specialties to provide appropriate care. We have access to all the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatment options, and we are able to offer the right treatment for each situation. And as part of an academic health network, our doctors are involved in research that aims to bring the most sophisticated diagnostic and treatment options to patients.
Dr. Sharma, great information. Thank you for being with us today. To find a doctor who's right for you, visit Froedtert.com/heart or call 414-777-7700. Thank you, Dr. Sharma.
Thank you.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us is Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we talked for quite some time about the disruption that mergers and acquisitions in the insurance industry can cause. So what did 2024 look like, and what do you see ahead for 25?
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. It was another incredibly busy year for mergers and acquisitions in our space. Over 750 agents and brokers chose to sell their business in 2024, and that follows 833 deals in 2023.
So, Jeff, remind us again why that's important for folks who are listening right now.
Vince, when your agent or broker sells their business, it means uncertainty, disruption, and in many cases, new relationships. Does any of this sound desirable if you're a business owner or a homeowner looking for guidance? New owners have new demands on the acquired business. New systems mean employees and sales staff will be internally focused for extended periods of time. The focus becomes very much internal, away from the customer, as those acquired organizations figure out who's in charge, what systems are we going to use, and what does my future role look like going forward? Wisconsin agencies and brokers haven't been immune to this activity and distraction either. Lots of activity in our state. We've even seen a few organizations on their second new owner in just a couple of years.
Jeff, I've heard you say it before. We are not for sale. Give us a recommendation for R&R Insurance.
Vince, we're fiercely independent. We've been family-owned for almost 50 years. Independent means we make our own decisions. This allows us to be client-focused and direct our energy and resources toward client value, not private equity returns or shareholder returns. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience with a top 100 agency in the country, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a medication mistake means no Bobby tonight.
I'm Julia Fellow. Another Trump surrogate confirmed.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We've got southbound on 43 backing up from about Locust, actually a little bit before Locust, all the way down through the Marquette, all over the high-rise bridge to the KK River. Northbound side, slowing down right around the North Avenue curve. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Capitol Drive. We've also got eastbound 94, a little bit heavy right past Barker Road. And you're back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th. Westbound's heavy out of the Marquette, past Hawley Road, almost to 68th Street. And then again, from about the Zoo interchange all the way past Sunny Slope Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Frosty tonight, 8 at the lake, 4 inland. The wind chill make it feel like it's 5 below zero. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 28 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the NBA suspending Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug policy.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis consumed a non-team issued medication that happens to be on the NBA's banned substance list.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis consumed a non-team issued medication that happens to be on the NBA's banned substance list.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
Bucks president Peter Feigin, Portis will be allowed to practice with the team. As for an appeal,
it would not be appealed by the Bucks. It would be appealed by the Players Association, but I do not think it will be.
Portis will miss 25 of the Bucks' final 29 regular season games. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
According to a statement from his agent, Portis unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a medication called Toradol.
The Senate confirmed Kash Patel to lead the FBI. His nomination was approved 51-49, with Republican Senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski joining Democrats to vote against him. CBS News correspondent Scott McFarland.
Kash Patel has been among the most loyal and ardent of Trump's surrogates to be nominated for a position, but he's been nominated to run the FBI, which is famously, and its agents say necessarily, independent from the White House.
Some lawmakers have expressed concern that the Trump ally could use the Bureau's power to go after perceived political enemies of the president.
The Internal Revenue Service has started laying off more than 6,000 new and newly promoted employees across the country. More from ABC News political director Rick Klein.
No one really likes to pay taxes, but the point of the IRS is to ensure compliance with the laws. And the very real concern is that cutting IRS agents means more people are going to get away with cheating on their taxes. And if you're looking for fraud and abuse, this is really a problematic cut. A lot of these are workers that were added over the last couple of years to try to tighten tax enforcement.
Meanwhile, the deadline for a lead cleanup at Golda Meir schools today. The Department of Health says to WTMJ the inspection crews plan to inspect the school on Saturday to see if there are any remnants of lead dust. MHD also confirms the lead risk assessment report for Maryland Avenue Montessori School should be ready tomorrow. Milwaukee Public Schools and the Health Department confirm they are still working on a mobile lead testing site to test student blood levels.
There's now a ban on transgender athletes from the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association. Its updated policy allows only athletes designated as females at birth in girls' competitions. Executive Director Stephanie Hauser tells WTMJ's Political Power Hour.
We desire to be in compliance with the federal government. And so, therefore, the board did take a vote yesterday to come into compliance, and they replaced our old policy with a revised policy, which does match what the president has signed into order.
This follows a similar policy change from the NCAA.
Milwaukee-based company Northwestern Mutual announced they've surpassed $40 billion surplus, declared a record dividend payout this year. CFO Todd Jones tells WTMJ.
It just really sets us up good for the future. We really, with that financial strength, any economic season that may be in the future, we're going to be able to take advantage of those situations.
They're also saying that it's going to help them navigate unexpected events and regulations, legislation, or other politics ahead.
The search continues for a new manager to run Milwaukee's streetcar, a position that's been open for over 4 months.
The vacancy comes as the city navigates a growing list of problems with the streetcar, including degrading wheels and shorting switches. City Operations Manager Chuck Schumacher.
We're really kind of waiting for a dry stretch of weather so that we can investigate what's going on with the switches.
The hop has averaged just over 1,000 riders a day in 2025. That's on pace with January 2024 numbers, though those were calculated 3 months before the L line began operation in the spring. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. One Brewers player returned to spring training, looking a bit different.
Sal Frelick weighed out of the 2024 season in the 160s. And maybe even less if you ask Pat Murphy.
But he was pretty thin when he left. Sal weighed about 135 pounds when he left.
But Sal added 20 pounds of muscle this offseason, and his skipper is proud of the initiative from his Gold Glove outfielder.
Well, commitment is commitment. He's a great competitor, and he's got the it factor.
Last season, according to StatCast, Frelick had the lowest average exit velocity among qualified hitters. From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
The Bucks are back in action tonight at Pfizer Forum tonight against the Clippers, possibly without Giannis and Damian Lillard, both listed as questionable, definitely out. Bobby Portis suspended for 25 games for the use of banned substance. Our coverage starts right after the 6 o'clock news.
News is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the once-a-year auto show sales event is on. Prime time to explore all that's new and score great offers and special savings to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Connect with Holiday for expert help, their low simplified price, and $500 auto show bonus cash on new 2025s. Stackable with offers like low 2.9% 5-year financing for well-qualified buyers on most models, including Mazda CX-30, CX-5, and CX-50. How about the 2-row Mazda CX-70 and 3-row Mazda CX-90? Save even more if you or someone in your household already drives Mazda with owner loyalty rewards. Get qualifying details today and enjoy the award-winning guest care at Wisconsin's #1. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Desnansky is with us. You can watch us all on the live stream by texting the word watch to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. Text the word watch and ba-boom, you get the video feed. We've got great videos, great pictures. Niz is a beautiful man, so text the word watch and you can see it.
Beautiful glasses.
All right,
I
Niz,
know.
how we doing out there?
Back with those blue glasses, I see.
Yeah, that's
again
right.
Today. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Can I ask
got
your
a pen to
opinion
match
on something? Oh,
yeah, what's up?
Look at that. Hold that up. That pen matches my glasses. How nice is that? Okay. You couldn't even see him when I was holding them up.
Are you going to talk about what we were talking about in the break?
Brandon's got it. Yeah. Let me get your take on this, Niz.
So,
our boys in the hockey team got in a fight the other night because they didn't like that the Canadians are booing our national anthem. Okay? Canadians booing the national anthem because they don't like Trump's talk about the tariffs and whatever else they're whining about up there. So they booed our national anthem. Our boys at the hockey game said, we don't like that, and they started a fight, and they kicked some butt. In 9 seconds, there were 3 fights.
And we won 3-1 too.
Yes,
which is great.
Smoked them, right?
Yep.
So we did this topic, and half the audience says they also are cheering for Canada, and they also don't blame our anthem being booed.
I said it was rude. You would think, Brian, I never give my opinion on literally anything. I said it's rude to boo the national anthem, and people were going against me.
Yeah,
I agree.
For me, this isn't about politics. This is about
People
it's our national
gave
anthem.
up their lives for our country.
That's right, Julia. You preach it. Yep.
What the heck?
Yeah. I have to agree. I'm going to stay out of, obviously, any of the political stuff with this because, obviously, that's part of the reasons for doing it. But that would be what I'll do is I'll flip the script. Let's say, we were on their side. I would like to believe that I would not boo some other country's national anthem.
Agree.
I would never think to do that.
I could disagree still. I just wouldn't put that disrespect unless sure. Again, I'm not making a statement politically or anything, but we're not necessarily at war with them right now. You know what I mean? We're not and even at that, it's a hockey game. Let's chill out a little bit, right?
Why does the national anthem always get in the news with sports?
My head's about to explode. All right.
Well, hey, tonight's. How about this real quick, though? Tonight is the championship games in Boston, right?
Yes.
So what I hope is that United States fans do not return the booing to the
both
Canadian
anthems?
Yeah, they do both. Niz, you're a very nice man. You know they're going to boo the hell out of that Canadian anthem.
I know.
Especially
I just hope they don't because it would be the same reason why I would not want them to do it.
Man,
you know
would
what
that
I mean?
be powerful? What if they did? What if they applauded the Canadian anthem and ours? That would be powerful.
Yes. Powerful, and then we went and we still kicked their butts. That would be, in my opinion, best case.
Yeah, I'm still okay with this fight.
If they lose the game, I think I'm going to be too sick to come into work tomorrow. I'm going to be so upset.
It's fun. You know what? Another thing for me is look at what the NHL has done with their break compared to the NBA with their All-Star break.
Right.
And you have international hockey games that are like
so cool.
playing like they're the championship. You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's same cost to get in the game tonight as it was to get in the Super Bowl almost.
Oh, really?
It's incredible. Yeah. It's going nuts.
I can't wait. That's must-see TV for sure.
Yeah. All right, hey, give us the 5-day.
Yeah. Okay, so for tonight, clear and cold. Not as cold as we've been, but again, still cold nonetheless. 8 degrees in Milwaukee, 4 degrees inland. Wind chills are going to be like around 0. There's really not a whole lot of wind tonight. Friday, sunny skies, a high of 28. Saturday, mostly sunny, 30. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high temperature of 38 with a slight chance of some rain and snow moving in here Sunday night. That will be the first of maybe multiple little clippers that we'll have to deal with next week. But a high of 42 on Monday, and it looks like temperatures are going to stay that warm all next week. So when we get these clippers, we're going to be dealing more with like kind of a rainy snow mix versus pure snow.
All right. He's the chief. We'll catch up with you tomorrow, Niz. Thank you.
Yep. Go USA.
USA. USA. USA. It's 5:42.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContracting.wi.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. 0 wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContracting.wi.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContracting.wi.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Special Olympics Wisconsin Polar Plunge. We are 9 days out. Are you ready to take the plunge with me? Join us for the Special Olympics Wisconsin Polar Plunge in Milwaukee, right on Bradford Beach. It's so beautiful. Brave souls will dive into icy waters to support local athletes. I'm doing it. I'm dressing up as a Little Mermaid. I raised $3,000.
That's
I'm over
amazing.
It. Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
You know what I decided? Because I have the Little Mermaid little dress thing.
Yeah, and the hair, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to wear pants because my husband's like, what if the mermaid bottoms fall off?
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Good plan.
Also, another pro tip, just know that when you go into icy waters, you'll feel like a shock, but just keep moving, okay? This is going to help 9,000 athletes in our state. For more information and to register, visit plungewi.org or SpecialOlympicsWisconsin.org. Don't miss the fun and freezing splash of a lifetime. PlungeWI.org.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
We're talking with Alex Wenzel from Lion's Tail Brewing Company. You have a yoga partner. Is that just in Tosa or is that in Neenah too?
Yeah, we try all different kinds of things.
Right.
You never know what's going to work. Bingo, and we do an Oktoberfest up in Neenah and food trucks all the time. You just keep trying things and trying to reach different people and see what works.
Everyone's doing beer yoga these days.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
VitaHearingCare.com. Vita takes great care of me. They're going to take great care of you, too. I noticed that my hearing wasn't as good as it was supposed to be, as good as it used to be. And so I went for a test. I took Michelle, and we went to Vita, and they're just the best. They've got locations in Mount Pleasant and Waterford. They're gentle. They're patient. They talked me through the whole process because I had anxiety over it, to be honest with you. And then I got the hearing tested, and guess what? My hearing's not great. So Vita Hearing made sure that I got what I needed. I have great hearing aids now. It's VitaHearingCare.com, VITA. Check them out. Free in-person appointments. They'll take great care of you. I trust them. It's Vita.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you where you need to safely get you home or to work, wherever you need to. Debbie Lassica, how are the roads?
Well, we are seeing still some delays. Eastbound 94, pretty hefty from the zoo all the way through the stadium interchange at 35th Street. The westbound side is going to be slow from about 30th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 43, slowing down basically from just about Burleigh all the way down around the North Avenue curve into the Marquette. Stays kind of heavy all the way through down to the KK River crossing. And then we also have an issue on the 894 northbound, just north of the Hale interchange. We have the right shoulder blocked with a broken down vehicle. Southbound side heavy from Oklahoma Avenue down and around through the Hale past Forest Home. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The Milwaukee Public Schools is, I think it's to say by most objective measures, struggling financially on the academic side. 20 years ago, the school was in a lot better shape, and that's also objectively when you look at things. Bill Andrikopoulos was the superintendent, and he joins us live on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ hotline. Bill, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, thank you.
A judge recently called MPS, quote, the worst school district in America. What's your reaction to that as a guy who used to lead this district?
It's too bad. I'm sure that was the judge that was really concerned about the resource officers and why they weren't in the schools.
That was him, and he went on to say it's not only the resource officers, but he said, it's academics, it's how our kids are reading or not reading, it's test scores, it's all that stuff. What has happened?
Well, what has happened, I think the main issue is a human capital issue. There's just been a lot of people transitioning, moving on, retiring, and I think there's just been a whole collapse of experience and knowledge in the district of staff members.
Why is that, do you think? The audit by the governor said a lot of people were hiring people they knew, and a lot of people at the top in the administrative office did not get along at all.
I know nothing about that. I mean, that's the current situation. I can only tell you that my observation, based on 50 years of experience, is that recently, in the last 15 years, there's been significant change in leadership in the district, principal leadership, district office leadership. A lot of people are retired, and the people that have come up the ranks to fill those positions just don't have the experience that the other people had.
Bill Andrikopoulos is with us, so let's dive into that a little bit. So 11% of staff positions are unfilled at any one time in MPS over the last decade. 11% go unfilled. Sources told the auditors that MPS spends millions in salary money elsewhere each year, and they don't fill the positions as a fiscal strategy to save money. And so 1 in 10 positions, a little more than that, sit vacant. Can you talk about that as a fiscal strategy? That sounds like a strategy and recipe for disaster.
It's a terrible fiscal strategy because what you're doing is you're if those positions are filled, then you're in the hole financially. So it's not a sound fiscal practice. The shortage of teachers is just not a Milwaukee Public School issue. It's a nationwide issue. Just less and less people are going into the field of education. I know some of the colleges are down 60-70% of young people going into the field of education.
I want to ask you about.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
I live out here in Arizona, and 35% of the classes are filled with provisional licensed teachers.
Wow. Okay, some of those test scores I referenced. 27% of Milwaukee fourth graders are considered to have basic reading skills. 27%, that's it. 9% are considered proficient. I mean, at the core mission, we can talk about SROs, which we'll ask you about in a second. We can talk about all this other stuff. But if kids can't read, that sounds devastating. What do you make of these statistics?
It's terrible, and there needs to be a sense of urgency to do a better job. I mean, we're failing a whole generation of children. It's just a terrible situation. I think resources need to be focused on the classroom, the most important place in the district, and the district needs to do a better job of really strategizing around quality teaching.
William, do you remember what it was like when school resource officers were in Milwaukee Public Schools when you were superintendent? Because right now there are none. There's supposed to be 25. And now the judge has ordered 50-50 for the police and the district to pay for it.
Now, when I was superintendent, I brought the resource officer program to Milwaukee Public Schools. I worked with the police chief at that time. The police felt it was great community policing. We felt it was a great experience for students to develop positive relationships with the police department. It was not about disciplining students. Certainly the police were there to build relationships and deal with if any significant criminal activity would occur, but it was more of a positive experience between the community and the police. We decided that we should split the cost back then. We didn't think that was an issue. It was benefiting both the police and both the school system.
Bill Andrikopoulos is with us on WTMJ. So aside from the fact that you believe SROs should be in schools, what's your opinion of the school district just ignoring the law, just not doing what the law says they have to do by not having them in our schools?
It's just hard to understand. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't even understand the whole controversy about not having the resource officers in schools. It's common practice. It's consistent. You go to almost any school district in the state of Wisconsin, and there's resource officers. It's just common best practices. So I just don't understand right from the get-go why they didn't have resource officers in the schools.
So I went to Menominee Falls High School today for an event, and the first thing I saw when I got to the parking lot was a police car parked right in front of the building. Second thing I saw was a police officer in the lobby, and he was talking to students, and they were laughing and smiling, and I saw him pat a student on the back. I guess that gets to your point about building relationships. It's not about handing out suspensions or tackling kids in the hallway. Isn't it about giving them a positive role model?
Absolutely. It's about building relationships. That's the whole essence of community policing. It's getting police into a more familiar place where students don't fear the police, but they see them as a valuable resource in the community. It's just a logical thing. It's just very difficult for me to comprehend why they don't want police in the schools.
It was a unanimous decision by the school board to effectively get rid of the school resource officers. And again, that audit by Governor Tony Evers, there was something else that was revealed, that the board is dysfunctional. How much can a school board hamper or paralyze a superintendent?
A lot, a lot. You know, that's why I had an editorial the other day in the paper where I said that let's give our new superintendent all the power that she needs to make a difference. I think the governance structure in Milwaukee Public Schools is based on adults' needs. I once had a school board member tell me after I told him that, you know, I will make decisions and bring my expertise of what's in the best interest of students. She told me, hey, look, I make decisions based on what's in the best interest of adults because they're the ones that elect me. So I think that sums it up. The governance structure is something that needs to change, and I think we need to do everything we can to support the new superintendent and empower her to make the decisions that are needed because we're in a critical situation here. We're losing generations of students.
A state legislator told me this week that they are considering a measure that would dissolve the school district or hand over district control to the mayor. They're so angry about what happened with the SRO law and now this audit. What are your opinions on either dissolving the district or giving mayoral control of the district?
I think dissolving the district is a bad idea. I think before I would do something that extreme, I would look at trying to create a different governance model, whether the district is turned over to the mayor, whether there's some type of commissioner or someone that's in charge of the district. But I think the governance structure is obsolete. I think it's too focused on adult needs. And I think the governance structure needs to be changed, and we need to make a difference that way as opposed to dissolving the district.
Are you sad? I want to get to you. You were proud. I remember when you were here, and I covered you as a young reporter. Okay, a younger reporter. And I remember how proud you were of the district when you would stand on the steps outside of a school. And now you're in Arizona, and things have just gone so south in the last decade. Take me inside how you're feeling about all of this.
Well, I think that's why I've been engaged a little bit in the last couple of years about a couple issues with MPS, and I've woken up from my retirement. It's very upsetting, and I know the other people, my peers that are retired, feel the same way. We're just very shocked and very concerned, and really concerned for the city and concerned for the students themselves and the staff, because we know how frustrated the staff are in the district at this moment. So it's very frustrating.
51% of students are considered chronically absent. The graduation rate is 76%. Statewide, it's 94%. Is some of this just a big city problem versus a Milwaukee-centric problem?
Well, some of it is just educating kids in poverty. when you educate children in poverty and all the complexities of that, that creates issues that need to be addressed from a society point of view. But there's other issues in Milwaukee and other issues in Milwaukee public schools, and a lot of it just has to do with the human capital issue that, as I mentioned, has occurred over the last 15, 20 years, where all the knowledge and experience of staff have left, and it's a difficult sled right now.
Does Act 10 play a role in that? Because a lot of teachers retired at that time.
Correct. Act 10 caused a significant number of people to retire or leave teaching, and that did cause a bit of a problem. But as time went on, Act 10 kind of that initial wave kind of was gone, but then people just reached that age. I mean, there was a lot of baby boomers that were just hired all around the same time in the late 60s and early 70s, and all of them reached retirement age, and all of them retired in a brief window.
William,
and now what you have, and wait, one other thing.
Yep.
Now what you have is a different generation of people in education, and they're not into an organization for 30, 40 years like my generation did. People come and go. They're more transient than they used to be.
There's no doubt about
they
that.
Can move around. Mm-hmm.
William Andrikopoulos is the former longtime superintendent of the Milwaukee School District. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You take care. Thanks again.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
John Mercure here at the Freighter at the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. It's American Heart Month, a time to shed light on the leading cause of death for adults in our country, which is heart disease. We talked to Dr. Abhinav Sharma, a cardiologist with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Sharma shared risk factors, what can be done to prevent heart disease, the early signs and symptoms, and more. You can hear that conversation along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
Get ready to fiesta with Margarita Week at